It's me, the one and only, the miraculous, the golden one, Oshun, bringing it back.
All right,
in
Oshun.
2017.
Are you the golden one? I actually think that our guest is the golden one.
Oh, he might be the golden one.
Our guest is the chosen one.
Can I be the silver? Remember on Guts? Can I be the silver?
Can I be the silver? And who's this to my left side?
ThatActorGuy, Martin Bass, Bradford, representative Gumbo Monster 504 and the Flower Bass Podcast.
What's happening with you, Bass? Good to have you here, man. Wasn't sure you was gonna make it. Ain't lying to you. And who's that to your left side?
It's Jay still keeping it real.
Keeping it real, Jay still?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is the mic on?
It's on, but my chair is sinking, so.
Okay, I can't hear you.
Oh no, we have another one of those days.
Well,
My
we'll
mic
take
is
care of
not
that in
on.
just a minute, but who's that in the booth?
Okay, hear him.
What's happening with you, Mastermind? Okay, I heard you do something very interesting lately. You want to talk about that now or later? Okay, yeah. That's real. I thought it'd be alright.
I thought he was gonna say now.
By the way, you guys, this is our last show of 2017. So
Yeah.
Yay! There we go. There it is. That's what Mastermind does. He plays us the sound effects. Who's that behind you, Mastermind? What's happening with you, Malik? Book a tour with who? I heard that, man. You've had a good 2017, huh? Yeah, you've been getting that work. You've expanded your brand quite a bit. Yeah. It's been a year of growth. I heard that, man. I'm excited about being here in the last few days of the year. I started doing this show in February, and I did not see it coming. I didn't necessarily even didn't think or realize I'd have a career in radio, but I absolutely think I do. And just after 42, we're on episode 43 now, so 43 episodes of this, I really feel like this is something I would like to do for years to come. And on different levels, but I mean, I'm really enjoying doing it with you guys, and looking forward to going into 2018 with my team, with this awesome ass Misbelief
You enjoy
team,
doing it with us?
I do, and we do it, and we do it, and we do it right, don't we? It's pretty dope. We only have one guest this episode, but he's very appropriate as the last guest of 2017. For one, we've talked about him quite a few times on the episode.
Almost everyone.
Yeah, we quoted his words a couple times when we had the little disputes about things that were said. And then we, as black millennials in the city, I feel like at some point we're inspired, as black creative millennials in the city, at some point we're inspired by him. Am I wrong?
No, I'm getting it. How could you not be
Yeah,
inspired by
inspired at
greatness?
least by the business acumen, the work ethics, and so on. So we'll talk about that later with New Orleans zone, the West Bank zone, Brandan, Bmike, Odums. Yeah, I shouted it out. I said it.
We still love you, Bmike.
We love
We
you so
still
much,
love
so
you,
good.
Bmike.
Yeah, man, he holds the whole West Bank on his
We
back.
still love you,
Man,
Bmike.
what would they do without him?
Okay, because he's the only, he's like the Statue of Liberty in this crossover.
Yes, indeed he is.
He is a monument across the river.
Bats, you've had a pretty dope 2017, right? A couple film projects.
Yeah.
What you looking forward to in 2018, man?
Building the brands or whatnot, man. On the Flower Bass Podcast, we just had a crossover with Your 30. We was talking about Arrogant Observer on that podcast asked us to think hard about, like, what was positive about 2017. And, like, a lot of times, you focus on, like, oh, my God, I'm glad it's the 2018. I'm glad we're in a new year. And a lot of negatives that come to your mind. But then when you sit back, you're like, damn, wait, I did this in 2017. I did that in 2017. I accomplished this. And a lot of times, we'll swallow our accomplishments and make it like, it's like we'll put more energy into the negative things that happen and not put the exact same amount of positive energy into the good stuff that happened. You feel me? So it's just, it's one of those things of, like you said, I had a good year as far as, I got a movie that came out on Netflix.
True.
I got another movie in 2018 with, directed by Ethan Hawke that's about to be in Sundance.
Really?
Yeah, man. It's joined about this country singer called Blaze. Like we got Shepard might be getting a deal with HBO, so it's like a lot of things.
Yeah,
Got a lot of things, you know, to be thankful for. Like, you know what, and then, you know, for Gumbo Monster, we just started a web series called Wannabes, and I'm very excited about that. It's starring DC Paul. It has my dude Mastermind in it. It has Raheem Glaspie, who's in the building, in it. Jay Steele gonna be in it. I mean, I'm gonna be using everybody that I know at some point in this freaking web series at some point. Look at Malik. What's up, Hysterical Geek?
That's what I'm saying. Me and Malik, we ready.
I mean, we could do something with that.
Oh, Malik, we can play the neighbors.
Oh, you don't want the cameo that Raheem Glaspie, the cameo he wanted for you. He want us to just pull up on one of your Nola tours and start yelling. He don't know what he talking about.
Raheem's character in the show would absolutely do something like that, man. But I feel like Raheem. I'm gonna go ahead and spill the beans. Raheem has been naked, and I'm gonna say all of the films that I've done with him. Wow. Yeah, so I feel like Raheem is just trying to build a film career around loving to be nude. There was this like in Not All Men. With a scene where he was sitting on the toilet? Why?
Oh, yeah.
Why? He didn't have to be sitting on the toilet.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
He
just he wanted the cameraman to see him naked. He wanted a shot.
And barely conscious he's getting it on with his girl.
Yep.
At the time or whatever before he get killed, but like, yeah, you know.
Yeah, so I know Raheem Glaspie's making a whole film career out of it.
It was the scene where you said that girl smelled like hot garbage.
Oh yeah,
trash cans and truth.
Can we get a shout out to Raheem Glaspie, our honorary Misbelief team member?
Yeah.
Raheem has been. I looked at a lot of episodes today. Raheem has been here for a lot of them.
Even if he wasn't on the mic.
Even if he's not on. Even if he's doing this, which you can't see if you're on the Facebook Live, you can see him now getting jiggy with it in the studio.
Yeah, he's absolutely also had a very good 2017. But I'd ask everybody about the year. Oshun, you've had a pretty good 2017, right?
Man, I got a promotion. I'm up in here still trying to save New Orleans one house at a time.
Yeah, man.
A lot of things I've got going on as far as my consulting work. Just in here lavishing in the greatness every Saturday that is you guys.
True.
I mean, 2017, it's been great. It's been great. I can't really complain.
You want to share her mic? Because if that mic is not working.
Let me see. Say something.
It's work. Ooh, it was working. Can y'all hear me?
Speak up.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we're doing all right. Turn your mic up.
Yeah.
Projecting to that thing.
Projecting to that.
You've had a pretty good 2017 as well.
I did have a really good 2017. I kind of agree with Mr. Bats, because I feel like a lot of times we look at all the stuff that, you know, oh, I didn't get to do this and I didn't get to do that. But I feel like 2017 was pretty good.
They trying to tell you in the booth that your mic too low.
Yeah, but okay, come on.
I'm about to hop over here.
We about to have us. So turn that mic off, and we gonna have a switch.
Well, I was just setting the scene for us having a really good 2018. I know, indeed, Mastermind, you made a couple moves in 2017, and you know, a bunch of things that we all are very proud of. But we really are all just getting started. I swear to God, we are, right? So this show here will be a recap of just a lot of our favorite moments for 2017, and then we're going to hopefully at the end look forward to greatness in 2018. Not even hopefully, that's what we will do. And I'm setting the show just like that. So Mastermind, I'm ready for a break, man. What you got?
I got quick by taking a bath.
Yeah. Can you play three songs in a row? What?
Yeah, I can play 3 in a row.
What's up? What you want to say?
I was going to say I actually caught them in a jam session on Friday.
Where?
Getting ready for their concert.
At the Joy. Where you caught them at on Friday?
At the Guitar Center.
They are so. They jammed at Guitar Center. I bet they did.
They got like big old like.
Yeah, I know. Were people around with their camera phones and things or not?
Not really. It was kind of.
It was just them. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Check them out at the Joy on New Year's Eve with Cool Nasty and Alfred Banks and Sweet Crude. Hosted by the man Hollywood. So it's going to be a dope time. It's going to be a dope time. Here's Quick by Tanking the Bangers, y'all. Stay tuned to the Misbelief Radio Show. We're going to fix this microphone situation, but you're not going to get none on you. I swear to God you won't. What's happening?
I don't know what's wrong with it.
Oh,
When he was tapping it, it was working.
You're saying it's on, but it's low as hell.
Yeah, I can hear you in my headphones.
Hello, Facebook Live.
When do you want B? Just let me know when you want Brandon.
We playing 3 songs?
He was all on me. Let's go pop some bottles.
What?
Where did he go?
No, he told me.
Okay. We got 3 songs and then he's up.
Let's go pop some bottles and drink some
It's not
salt.
time for that, man. Where'd you start the show?
You want to pop the bottle after or just pop? Let Brian, let him pop one bottle. Pop one bottle.
It's alcoholic.
You gotta wait till the end.
It's not even alcoholic.
We just started the show, man. You want a bottle of water?
No, I want to pop these bottles with you to be souls and be happy and married.
Yeah, we can be married. See him looking.
Everybody, please go to DC Paul's Facebook page and like his
I
status.
just did it.
Hey, share the
And I
video,
shared
And
it.
please share the
Please share the video. This is going to be a dope show.
I do want a bottle of water. It's always
Come baby.
It's always
Y'all need to share the Facebook Live video, please.
Well, you want us to share?
And if y'all watching, talk to people who watching. Tell
Hey,
them
what's happening?
Hey yo,
Hey, Sade.
what's up?
Let us know
How
what
y'all doing, huh?
your New Year's resolutions are on Facebook Live. Let us know.
You asking me, you asking them?
Well, I'll ask you too.
I'm going to wait till next episode to talk about
To
it.
be, I don't really have one. I just want to do more of what I'm doing now.
Yeah,
I got you.
This
I
is
just
the
want
board
to
right
be
here
more
with my I couldn't use the
consistent.
headphones on this last
That's it.
I got
Not
you.
really like a resolution, like
And
I'm
there's
gonna
no way to
change
test
something.
it
Like,
while we're playing music.
I accept that. I accept that.
Like, we can't test it.
about you.
What?
What is your New Year's
Do you have a New Year's resolution or something that you want to do in 2018?
Well, my New Year's resolution is to try to say no more. Because I'm always saying yes. I'm going to work on that. I'm also going to work on finally finalizing my house buying process,
Get yourself a new, I guess.
which I have put off for a century.
Get yourself a new, I guess.
2018 is your year.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, come through.
What's going on?
Either a resolution or something that you want to accomplish in 2018.
It's not the new year yet, so I'll let you know when 2018 happens. At the New Year's resolution show next week, the same time, same place.
All right.
It'll be okay.
Facebook Live, we are.
I will say one thing. In 2018, I will be reclaiming my time as a co-person here. I'm sneaking in, jumping in the studio.
Okay, I got you. Raheem Gillespie,
Yes.
2018. Do you have a resolution or something that you want to accomplish in 2018?
To keep clothes on.
Those are from Australia. I got those in my new basket.
I'm about to say something so awful. I always have to think about the things I'm about to say.
What did you
You're lying, so
say?
you can't just...
In 2018,
I don't need my hair.
I'm conquering the conglomerate.
Do you often hear your own voice in the headphones? You do?
Yeah.
And but did you do that over here?
This is behind the scenes. I'm trying to work out the problem. Taking the bangers.
Pass over there on the board. You see
can
them
have
high?
mine. I
Look
don't
at
need them.
voice modulation and everything. Pass over there on the board.
Muffins.
You
Champagne.
baked those, didn't you? So
I
check
did.
this out. This
Red
is the
Love. I'm sorry.
new Rockaway, DJ Rockaway Spray Love. It's the Nola Way sweatshirt. He only printed 20. If you didn't get them, you don't have them. So yeah, so just shout out this. But DJ Rockaway do have new apparel on his website, so go check it out. Support black businesses more. Please support black businesses more.
Indeed.
Tricks up
Indeed.
kids.
All right, so Malik has a spread love. It's Nola Way. And then DC has a Love Supreme shirt. So we got love going all around. It's Studio B. Sure.
Whatever it is, you just let it take in.
So it'd be created by our guest
Oh, it
Bmike.
took, yeah.
I support local brands. I do. Local artists, local brands, local businesses.
DC, where's the crown?
You should
I've
wear
been
it
drinking.
forever.
Oh, that crown. I really thought.
That means you need to let it go.
That's why I was just gonna say, like, I've been drinking so much since my birthday. I'm not drinking no crown, but he actually meant the birthday crown.
Yeah.
I didn't wear that the whole night.
Because you was too busy jumping.
Yeah.
After 12, you wore it a lot after 12. Like, it was on there.
If you guys miss
Put that crown in the bag.
I'm about to say,
Put that crown in the bag.
If you guys missed this Wednesday.
Where do you want to sit at?
Where y'all want to sit?
He goes right here. Nope.
You don't want to sit for the interview? I like the way you interview people.
Give me two, but could y'all still do?
Yeah, I'll do questions on the mic.
Okay.
Come on, Oshun.
I have a whole segment that I prepared for us, and I'm quite excited about it.
Oh, come on now.
That's why we only have one guest.
Look at Oshun's face.
She's after something.
She looked like somebody did the homework, but everybody didn't. Like, hey, you motherfuckers. I got hands.
Come in. Are you gonna share Mike with him? Okay.
That's fine.
Do you want to do another song? Because Taking the Band was kind of, so this is the second song.
I do want to do 3. We got more time for music. Yeah.
What shall I say? Hello, how are you?
We are blessed. We have Bmike.
Mike Odums.
We
do live the whole.
word. Peace.
Yeah. We usually do a live performance out here in the hallway, strictly for the Facebook Live viewers. Yep, but I'll let show and we
perform with hot fire.
Them Bmike bars.
Okay, my eyebrows went up really.
Bmike on the mic.
Yeah, you know we also only play local music by local artists. If you want to hear, so
I was jamming and listening to music. But
Cool Nasty.
This is Cool Nasty. The song before that was Taking the Banger.
and who was before that?
It was our intro song was about Fat Words.
No, he was playing something before Tank. Who's song playing before Tank? No?
Yeah.
That was the first one.
Oh, I'm sure.
So, Mr. Bmike, how was your 2017?
Bmike. 2017. Oh my goodness. I don't like the way you said that.
Somebody was hosting this, I don't even know what it was, and they passed them my name on the paper, and the dude was like, and Bmike.
I would assume it was Swahili or something. Mickey.
My 2017 was amazing.
Good.
Yeah, I'm
Grateful to be here.
Man, I saw this one thing, the video you made, this might have been last year, where you missed a call from Oprah.
Yeah.
And she left a voicemail.
That was this year.
It was this year, and you checked it like several months later.
Well, no, we played phone tag for a minute, and
Phone tag with Oprah. That's got to go in there. Like I'm playing phone tag with Oprah.
Okay.
No, I thought I left my phone.
Okay, you were saying you playing phone tag.
What happened? I was in California at the time when I was in the not in the mountains, but where I was like high up, so I didn't have like proper phone service. And Ava DuVernay had kind of hyped me. She didn't tell me who was calling, but she said somebody's calling you. Be by your phone. So I said, all right, cool. I saw an unknown number, and I tried to answer. I couldn't because I said hello. Nobody was there. You know what I mean? So then I get a voicemail, and that's the voicemail, and she was like kind of heated, like, yeah.
A voicemail from Oprah.
Yeah, since she was kind of like, yeah. So since you didn't pick up, I'm gonna have my staff call you. And I was like, dang, I missed my shot to talk with her. And so her staff did hit me up, and I said, yo, tell Oprah I'm so sorry. Can you please like let her know, you know?
Tell her call me back.
Call me back. I was like,
call me back.
And I think what happened? So okay, this is what happened. Real talk. So she wanted to buy a whole bunch of ancestor shirts. It was before Thanksgiving. Wait. No, so this was last year.
Yeah, I feel like I saw this a while ago.
Yeah, I'm tripping. I don't know time. Time is weird for me. So it was Thanksgiving, right? She wanted all her people to wear this shirt for Thanksgiving. She was ordering the shirt. And so I just was like, yo, I'm going to be in LA. Can I deliver it to you? I just don't find it.
Yeah, please.
So she was a peep game and knew I wasn't about to. So I was like walking. Actually, I was going to do this little program at the juvenile detention center, doing this little art program. I was walking in, about to get like searched by the security. I get another call from an unknown number. I'm like, I got to answer this. It's like, Brandan, it's Oprah. Don't come out here to give me no shirts. And I was like,
my God.
She's like, yeah, I'm gonna come to New Orleans to visit you. And I was like, okay, we finally got to talk.
Okay,
So,
good.
Wow.
Phone tag with Oprah.
And it's so funny that Oprah is one of the few people that it feels weird if you put a miss in front of it when you talk about like Miss Oprah. No, you're Oprah, like
right.
Beyonce. You're Beyonce.
That's
So
like
people just-
Bmike.
and she put on a voicemail. This is Oprah Winfrey.
Like some other Oprah.
Oh yeah, so I grew up with you down the street, Oprah. Yeah. There's only one.
That's pretty cool.
There's only one. Yeah, that was definitely Yeah, I didn't see that coming a mile away.
You should have, man. You should have. People have been looking at
Devin is calling us or
and
something.
like 4 minutes left on this song.
Cut it short, please.
It says, yeah, we can fade out. What song is this? It's the Janae McGee.
Desire.
Well, we're struggling today.
Oh, this place is falling apart on us right now.
It is. Okay, that's good. Thanks for coming, Bmike. I'm gonna try to make you laugh a couple times. We're gonna try to make you laugh a couple times.
You gonna just tell him that?
Yeah. What are you doing?
I was looking at old shit.
I ain't say no. What's happening, y'all? What's happening? Welcome back to the Misbelief Radio Show here on WBOK. You are listening live on WBOK 1230 AM.
Or
you listen to our podcast at TheMisbelief.podbean.com, available on iTunes.
Or
you're listening on www.WBOK1230am.com.
Or
you're listening on the WBOK app.
Or
you're watching us on my Facebook Live. Or my YouTube channel. We're all over these social networks, all over the platforms. Wherever you like to consume your content, the Misbelief is there with some black millennial magic. You heard me? By the way, I'm DC Paul, the Millennial Arsenio. As I mentioned, I'm wasting a baby face. I have a deep voice, and I am the #1 choice. Dispute me. And I like to keep a colorful cast of cool kids. Who's this to my right side this time?
Shay still keeping it real with a slimmer waist and real cute face.
The nerve.
How y'all doing?
Man, y'all don't know we in here making it work with only 2.5 mics.
Yeah, we struggling.
But watch us work this black magic at this black station. Who's this to my left side?
this is that actor guy, Mr. Bats, with a deeper voice, and is the number 0.5 choice. You heard me, so I still come ahead of you. You dig, you feel me. Birthday boy DC Paul, shout out.
How you gonna give me a shout out after trying to take my my deep voice? I don't have a whole lot going for me. Okay, I have a radio voice, and it didn't even come naturally. I worked for it. Okay, I smoke things. And who's that in the booth?
Hi everybody, it's me, the one, the magnificent marvel, the unicorn, the lady rebel herself, Oshun.
How do you keep adding the adjectives every time you just everything you I thought you started off as the one and the only, but then you just
Well, I've been watching some of the old videos and I was like, dang, those taglines is good. Let me break them down.
Can I borrow you a thesaurus though?
that was it. She always got a creative tagline. And who else is that in the booth? Not you, but behind there. It's him right there. Who's that?
Yo, this is the historical delight.
Ooh, okay.
That's great. I forgot to say we do taglines here. So
That's dope.
That's dope. And who's that on the boards?
You already know this boy, Mastermind, spinner of records, slayer of clothes.
Coon Slayer!
Slayer himself. So what was that? What was that last song you played, my man? What was the last song you played? I know, but you have to say it for the people who are listening. And then before that, you played what? Nope, that was by Cool Nasty. I See You was by Cool Nasty. But before that, you played
Before that, I definitely played
Quick. Quick by Tango. Yeah, I know. Believe me, because we here on the Misbelief Radio Show only play music by local and mostly independent artists. So if you're a local independent artist and you make radio-friendly music, I keep having to overemphasize radio because people in the world they do not. Oh, it's so many
Sanitize.
words. I know, it's so many. But if you make radio-friendly music, just edit it a little bit and send it to us at TheMisbelief@gmail.com. I will add it to the playlist whether I like it or not. I happen to like quite a bit of the music that we get as long as it's radio-friendly. But I look forward to getting some new music in 2018 and adding all you guys to the playlist.
No N-words, please.
How you don't know that the N-word is important?
We keep getting them.
All right, but here it is, you guys, our one interview on episode 43 of the Misbelief Radio Show, introducing, I got a dope-ass introduction form. Artistic, visionary, entrepreneur, beacon of black millennial creativity from right here in the city. Make some noise for the West Bank's own. Brandan Bmike Odums.
West Bank.
Out there. Give him a tagline. What's happening, Bmike?
Peace.
Peace to you, man.
Because I host a lot and am very used to introducing people and giving people introductions. But earlier today, when I confirmed you for this episode, I had to consult with people, like, how do I introduce him? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I've known you to do so many things, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. But, like, that introduction, I definitely had to put, like, thought into it. And
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and believe me, some people I could just be like, they singer, rapper, entrepreneur, you know, but I was like, man, where do I start? Where do I finish? You know, so I'll start here. Do you know what a misbelief is?
I do.
What you have? What is it? It's for the people who listening.
I mean, we ain't call him that though. What?
On the West Bank?
Oh yeah. What y'all call them on right now? Yeah, what y'all call them on?
But I could be completely wrong. Though.
No. What y'all call them? I tell you, I know all of the synonyms.
Y'all don't like the West Bank, I take it.
No, but it's a little friendly. It's a little friendly banter. We had a caller from the West Bank actually. She was not happy. She was like, "Yeah, I know you're a comedian, so I guess you don't want the West Bank people to buy tickets to your show." I'm like, man, that's not what I meant.
But we always give the West Bank you.
Okay. What y'all call the misbelief on the West Bank? I'm curious.
Oh man.
Oh, okay. Wait, real talk. So, when I was growing up, we called them Japanicans.
That's the same thing. Mm-hmm.
So I just remember like there was. So I was pretty much raised on this one street in Algiers, Blair Street, in the cutoff. So my grandparents live currently. I shouldn't have said that probably, but on that street, they had this one house that it grew in the front yard. And so me and my cousins growing up, like rugrats running around, we used to try our best to take all of them. Like, ain't no keeping something later. It was like, we want every single one right now. We're going home. So, yeah. Cool. It was Japanicans, though. That's what we used to do.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, given that that's actually one of the more scientific official names for it. You know, misbelief is something that's made up as just New Orleans. But
yeah,
I became obsessed with it, did some research about it, and I found out why. But what you say?
I'm just saying, I'm happy that you know though, because sometimes we have guests that come on here and they be like, "Oh, it's when you don't believe something." And we like, "Come on, you said you from New Orleans. You said you from New Orleans."
Technically, though, you know that could be right.
I mean, we give it to them. We don't just piss on them, but it just be like, "Come on, if you look at the logo we got around here, this really got a fruit in it, dog."
Yeah.
But thank you for coming with the science.
No, what is the season of those? Is it
like spring, like early spring, around April? Yep. And then that story that you told about is pretty much the story that connects all of us as black millennials from New Orleans. We all have some story about either hopping some fence or, you know, knowing where there's a tree with these things. And you don't see them very long.
Yeah, that's true.
We got about 3 or 4 weeks out of the year, you know. And then when you pick them off the tree, they don't even stay, like, right that long.
Yeah, can you purchase them anywhere?
No,
like Whole Food got them?
No, believe me, I love you. You can purchase little seedlings and trees from off the internet. Shout out to your grandma Oshun. I gave her 2 seedlings, and they are now,
Trees are flourishing in the back.
yeah, we got some trees, yeah. So that's just where the name comes from, man.
So if anybody tried to like do any like dishes with them, like
yes,
pies,
yeah. Where have you been? Yeah,
well,
you know that. Yeah,
I live under a rock.
I got cocktails. I tried a cobbler. The misbelief punch. I don't know if you don't drink. You don't drink. No, but I mean, people have. One time I did.
Wait, so when you do the misbelief punch, like, what do? You just like...
well, we're on the air, man.
I don't think he can share this secret.
Oh, my bad.
I'll tell you this one. This is real cool. I took a cracker, like a Triscuit, put some cream cheese on it, like a shrimp, a misbelief on top of that, and then kind of seasoned it with some stuff. It was a nice mixture of flavors. I like cream cheese. I like shrimp. But I mean, I tried it. There's plenty of things you could do. You could grill them, so on and so forth.
I've never, like, aside from the very first time we did the Misbelief show, before it was a radio show, I remember you had all these people show up and they have all these unique dishes. But before then, I ain't never think to do that with a Misbelief. I just thinking like Bmike said, we just hop in that fence, we getting it, and we eating it now.
Right, yeah.
You feel me? So it's real interesting to hear you can put it on a Triscuit.
Yeah, I know, that's some fancy. That's some fancy. Yeah.
I just didn't want the background noise up in there, but absolutely, y'all chime in. Yeah. Yeah, Bmike. So thanks for coming, man. I was hesitant. I was hesitant about asking. I was like, I know he got something to do. I know he got something else to do. I talk about being busy. I would never use the word busy around you, man. I'm like, man, look, I'm just trying.
No,
you know.
I'm lazy. I don't know.
I feel like you're hard to get in contact with.
I have a weird concept of time, so busy is a weird thing for me. It's like I try to just stay in motion, but busy is weird. Like I don't like to occupy my time with scheduled things. So that's when it gets tricky when somebody say, "Oh, I want you here for some time," and I'm like, But other than that, I'll just float around and be busy. Like you would say, you would look at me and be like, "Oh, he's busy." But if you ask me what I'm doing today, I'd be like, "I don't know." So
but you're still very productive.
Yeah.
He said, "I like to exist under my own terms."
Yeah, I think it was Eric Badu said, "I'm not on a timeline. I'm on a lifeline." Something
that's
like
deep.
that.
Yeah.
So that's real.
Frank Ocean has said something about that too on that last record of that new album. He said something like,
"We waiting for the epic quote."
Yeah, man.
It was something like, "I ain't on your schedule," or something like, "I'm on my own time," something like that. I ain't on schedule. It was like that last song, you know. He's like,
"Oh no."
I'm sure it was beautiful.
I'm gonna look at it.
Google it. So I'm surprised. So you have Studio B going. I'm
Yes,
sure you
sir.
occupy much of your time nowadays.
Yes, sir.
I don't think you're there every day, but you occupy much. You're very hands-on there. I've been there a couple times.
Oh yeah. If I'm in town, like that's where I'm there. I think because I understand it's such a temporary thing that I'm trying to enjoy as much of it as I can while I'm here. Because I know, who knows the exact date, but there will be a date when it won't be there. It'll just be like a memory, like, oh, I remember when, So.
Yeah, so for people who are listening who may not know, first of all, tell them what Studio B is and where it is before we tell them how it came about. But tell them what it is and where it is.
So Studio B is a 35,000 square foot warehouse that is currently filled up with my first solo show as a visual artist. So it's filled with large scale pieces done with spray paint, like 12 to 15 feet high and long and wide, and yeah, it's kind of about a lot of things that's important to me. We open 4 days a week from Wednesday to Saturday from 2 to 8 p.m. and it's in the Bywater, 2941 Royal Street, right across from Noka.
Beautiful place, by the way, and
Thank you.
I'm not sure how often it gets updated. When you put a new installation in there or whatever. But every time I've gone, I feel like I've seen something I didn't see before, and clearly your art speaks to people. Like it's a lot of stories being told. You do use words, but it's a lot of stories being told in the images that you're giving us. And I mean, it really speaks to me as a black New Orleans creative millennial. Like you speak to me with what you do, bro. So for people who may not know, I believe Studio B was like the what is it, the offset of Exhibit B? Is that
yeah, it's kind of like a trilogy.
Yeah, because it's Project.
Yeah, so it's Project B first, which was completely like in the fringe and illegal, and that's where it kind of all started.
Yeah.
How was
I remember that.
How was that experience?
Project B was just this weird flower that grew from concrete. It's hard to like talk about it in a way that's like where I can take ownership of it, like, oh yeah, this happened, because it just happened, you know what I mean? And so every time I'm thinking about it, how it happened is pretty interesting. Like basically, I was painting in this abandoned space, the Florida Housing Project in the 9th Ward, and there was many reasons why I was there, but we don't have to get into all that. But I started painting there just in terms of like painting stuff that I like, people that I like. I've always been a fan of history, so I was just painting people who I looked up to, you know what I mean? So, and it just so happened that I didn't think people would pay attention because it would have been foolish of me to assume that this would get people to pay attention because I would get in trouble, you know what I mean? Like, I'm illegally in this space painting. But what happened was the images started to circulate, and then other artists started to come out there at first. And then it got to the point I would go back there, like hop the fence, and I would see other people painting. And then we all just kind of like acknowledge each other's existence, like, oh, what's up, you know what I mean? And it was kind of like this, I guess, organic art gallery that was growing. And then the second wave was like people who just wanted to see what was happening. They just wanted to bear witness. They was coming back there with their cameras, people for all ages, hopping the fence, cutting through the fence to get in. And basically it just kind of like did its own thing, and it kind of existed as this space where either you went to create or you went to observe what was being created. And I kind of learned a lot from that organic experience because I'm asking these questions like, okay, why are people coming out here? You know, why are families coming out here? Why is this teacher bringing her students? Or why is this person who clearly probably never stepped foot in this neighborhood, why are they here? And in the process of answering those questions, I began to understand, like, why art was important to me, or why it was important for me to create art. So once that got shut down, because Hano clearly wasn't, like, trying to endorse that. They weren't about to be like, yo, go out there.
You can.
I think I can say that. Hano is a bunch of, okay.
Well, they basically, I can say this, they did not have the imagination to, like, take ownership of it, which I felt they should have.
Yeah, of course.
They should have been like, we gonna work with y'all artists, let's figure out how we can, you know.
And you kind of alluded to it, but I feel like you were in that space intentionally, and I felt like they weren't, like, Handle could have, like, taken ownership, taken a hint, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. You don't want to talk about why you were there specifically?
No, I mean, because it was organic. So, for example, one reason, I've been there a bunch of times as a videographer. I was doing a lot of music videos, and naturally, if you're doing a rap video, I don't say naturally, but it just got to the point where you were doing a rap video, there was a certain, like, laundry list of desired backdrops. And one of those things was an abandoned, graffitied wall or building.
Yeah, true.
And I'm kind of like a, not so much jaded former videographer or video director, but it got to the point where it was just repetitive. And so you got the rapper who wanted to be there. And so I was out there a lot, like, doing music videos. And so that was one way I got introduced to the space, I guess, this post-Katrina damage project. You gotta excuse me, I got some science things going on.
No,
but
don't speak that.
That was one way. So I'm out there all the time, and then I'm starting to notice the graffiti and street art in a way that kind of made me appreciate it to the point where I wanted to, like, duplicate what I saw. I was like, oh, word, I'm coming back out here. I'm gonna not bring my camera, but I'm gonna bring a spray can. The other reason I was out there was a friend of mine, Douglas Miles, who's a great Apache visual artist from San Carlos Apache Reservation. He was in town for Jazz Fest, and he had all these spray cans that they had flew him in to do this mural. And he was like, yo, we want to go paint somewhere while we're here. So a friend of mine ended up taking us over there to paint. And that was kind of like my first time painting there with other artists where they had, like, skills, where they were, like, coming in with intention to do a whole wall. And I remember being upset that we went there because I was like, I wanted to go to a space that we all could paint side by side. And here was a space where we all kind of went into different rooms and were separated. But I do remember seeing what they created and being like, dang, that's so dope the way they transformed one whole room into, like, their own kind of mini exhibit. Because when I walked into Doug's room, he had, like, all his Apache warriors on the side. He had text on one wall. So just the idea, like, the way he incorporated the whole room into this one canvas was pretty, I guess, enlightening to me. And then so when he left, he was like, I can't fly with these spray cans. Here, you take them. And it was my first time, like, really using, like, the professional, like, $10 up spray cans. And so he left this with me. And then being that was the last space that I had painted, I was like, all right. And I started going back. And I kept going back. And that's kind of how it grew from me being there, because it got to the point where, like, I would go out there. I remember the first thing I officially did was a portrait of Malcolm X, and it was on Malcolm X's birthday, May 19th. And I just looked at the calendar. I was like, oh, it's Malcolm X's birthday. I was like, I'm going to paint Malcolm X. And that kind of how it all started.
And then, so I feel like we shouldn't have to talk about Exhibit B, because if you missed it, shame on you. And, I mean, you can still go get a little glimpse.
If you about that.
Yeah, but it wasn't nothing like
play on the West Bank, but go Exhibit B at night.
Where the bell?
Where's the bell? You should have hit the bell for yourself. You got that one. Man, so Exhibit B, it sounded a lot like what you just described with the other artists.
Yeah.
You gave each artist, some artists had a whole wall, a whole apartment building, but Exhibit B, I feel like you shouldn't have to talk about it, man. I want to talk about other things. I'm sure you're tired of talking about it.
But I can't say this. So the questions that I asked as a part of Project B, Exhibit B is where they were answered, I guess, in a way.
And expanded.
So it's like, because it's like, okay, why is these people here? Or why are these artists painting?
Right.
And Exhibit B is when I was like, okay, this is why. And now let's intentionally, like I guess, put that out there. So it was like, okay, reaching out to 35 plus artists and separating the space and saying, okay, it was almost like real estate, saying, okay, you take this side, you take that side, and kind of being a step ahead of the organic nature of what happened at Project B. So it's kind of like each, and this was like all of this between then and now was like a 4-year span. So each step was like being super observant and learning as I was watching what was happening. Because it was not like all this stuff is weird even being where I am now as an artist, because I feel like the last 4 years were clearly just like it happened, and I've learned from it, and I adjusted, and I kind of like put a lot of time and effort into it, but it's so weird the way it all came together, the way it all manifested. But yeah, so Exhibit B was like a step further of a manifestation of what happened at Project B.
It's exactly what it sounded like when you described it. I didn't get to see Project B. I of course went to Exhibit B after like probably every day of the closing weekend.
Yeah.
That was an amazing, magical experience. It absolutely was.
Project B felt like this was underground hip hop, like
Yeah,
early mixtape.
yeah.
Because I remember I would always hear about it from word of mouth. People would take pictures of my pocket, like, man, you heard about that Project B thing? I went there like one time, and it was like I said, it was. I want to say chaos, but chaos in the best way
It
possible.
definitely was. Yeah, it was gritty. It was like
It was gritty.
It wasn't safe.
It
You know what I
wasn't,
mean? So,
but it was cool as hell.
yeah. Yeah.
And then like went to see it go to Exhibit B, and it was like, whoa, this is polished here.
Yeah, it was a little bit more. But it still was. we were on the front. Thinking back, hindsight is like I get nervous because of what could have happened. Like when I think about that closing celebration, we had like it was estimated 10,000 people. How many people were there?
Yeah, it was.
And it was like all those
It was a
floors with no railings.
I know it was
and
not
people
safe.
just chilling.
It was not safe.
Everyone was happy though.
Yeah, so
Blessed to be there.
So it's like each step was a little bit more, because even Studio B as a warehouse is like still in a little bit on the unpolished side, but it was like each step was a step up. But Project B was definitely like underground basement hip hop, like bass rattling the ceilings and stuff coming from the top. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
but it was fun. I think because of that, it kind of had this, and what I can't say this, especially in terms of how you speak to New Orleans millennials, I think what happened at Project B, there was a group of artists that I feel like the institutions didn't know what to do with. We didn't fit in anywhere. We didn't fit in the galleries. We didn't fit into like technically like the graffiti scene. And I feel like Project B began to like show us, because it wasn't just me, it was many other artists. It began to show us like where we belong and where we fit in as a voice in New Orleans.
Right.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah,
Y'all made
man.
it our own. That's
Yeah,
so
and so that's what I think happened. That was what I'm so excited about, because I feel like as a result, I could name a long list of people who I met through that space. You know what I mean? Who are now like my contemporaries and my consultants, and who I can go to and who I'm supporting. You know what I mean? And I met them there, and I see their growth as well. So yeah.
Nice, man. And you talked about how you have all these unpolished spaces. It's amazing what you do with an unpolished. I guess that's what black people do. We take.
That's what we do.
Right.
We're alchemists.
Yeah, it's alchemists, and that's one of your themes. Alchemy, isn't that?
Yeah.
I have one of your shirts that said, what's
They say alchemist. What's
it
the
says
alchemist?
alchemist. Yeah, man. That's my favorite book, by the way.
It is my favorite as well. Yeah.
Really? Okay, nice. I try to reread it every few years.
It's a great read. And Full Metal Alchemist anime is also pretty dope.
Yes, that's why you just need the hand. You come on, we here.
Yo, man, what you got, man?
I just wanted to talk a little bit about your transition, because one thing we have to talk about, since we're all artists out, there's no artist that just does one thing. Everybody's like a slash. Everybody's like a slash. And like coming up, like, I went to McMain, so like a lot of my partners, Tyler Dixon, shout out, Sierra Payton, shout out. You feel me? Like that. My Kia, like, I mean, even shout out to Stiggity Steve, who I got cool with, even later down the line. You feel me? And watching y'all with the 2 Cent movement, it became a movement. It was like y'all was doing videos, and it became, we got kids programs. You feel me? So what was the transition going from filmmaker, videographer, and such to now? Like, because most people don't even, like, we knew you for videography for years, and that's what we knew you as. Now most people don't even know that part of you.
People wouldn't believe y'all came out with a comedy video every Christmas where y'all were parodying,
that y'all had a TV deal.
Yeah.
Y'all really had a legit TV deal. Or like y'all stuff was coming on TV. I think it was ABC.
ABC at midnight. It was like 12:30. Yeah, you was in a few. Yeah.
So what was that like, transitioning from that filmmaker space to that visual artist space and such?
It's interesting because it's like I learned so much. Like, I've always been trying to like just do what I can with what I got, and so after I graduated from NOCA and I was like, I'm done with visual arts, I went to school for filmmaking because I felt like that was more of an appropriate space for me to use the creative thoughts in my head, because I didn't feel like I fit in the visual art space. And what I learned in doing filmmaking was just, I still love it. Like, it's still on the very top of my list in terms of like being able to collaborate and bring people together. And bring the best of people together, you know what I mean? Because on any movie set, music video, anything you're doing as a video production, there is no one person.
Team.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and I really love that aspect of it. You know what I mean? And so being a young person, I kind of, that's where the 2 Cent Collective came from. It was like this desire to like really connect and just like create something as a unit. But even then, it was like this responsibility to just to say, okay, not just creating for the sake of creating, but how can we like be intentional about our privilege of creating and be intentional about the voice and the platform that we have. But I mean, I think there's 2 ways to describe the two. One, art is based, like a successful art piece is based on how many people can take various interpretations of it. So if I paint something and you see it and it makes you smile, and you see it and makes you sad, and you see it and makes you angry, that's a successful piece of art.
Absolutely.
Right.
Like if it's a piece of video though, and my intention as a director or writer is to make you laugh,
And you don't
and
let
you got
go.
angry, and you got sad, and you laughed, and
Right,
I was not
right.
successful.
Yeah, true that.
So for me, it's like filmmaking is a little bit more of a challenge because it was kind of like you had to. That's where your success was hinged upon, like how well everyone got the same thing almost. You know what I mean? So for me, going into visual arts, that progression, or not, I don't want to equate it as like a progression, but doing that while I'm doing it, it was 2 things. One, it was a way for me to kind of like restore myself from years of collaboration, because collaborations can be good and bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
It can be taxing and it can be refreshing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I got to the point in my life where, like, after 8 years of collaborating constantly, like, I just felt like I needed to figure out my voice as an individual, and that's what kind of like the art was taking place, and it was kind of, while I was like having these thoughts, I was seeing the art side of me like growing, and so I was like, okay, because when you're painting, it's kind of like you're the only person. Like,
Right.
if it's a failure, it's your fault. If it's successful, then it's your fault. You know what I mean? So, but also I feel like as a visual artist, I'm able to be layered and nuanced in a way where I can have one piece that can say many things and it still be successful, you know? So, but it's weird because that's a whole part of my life that feels like it just feels like it was a million years ago, but it was such an important, like, literally 2 Cent, we always joke about this because we would get together every Tuesday for like, probably like 10 years. Every single Tuesday. Like, these individuals became family. Like, it wasn't even like, we started off as these friends in college, and it got to the point where, like, we saw them more than we would see each other more than we saw our blood family. So shout out the whole 2 Cent team, a lot of them.
What up, Gizmo?
Yeah, Gizmo, Kevin,
Amanda.
Steve, Amanda. Lord, I shouldn't have did the list because not gonna
Yes, because a lot of people came. They got alumni. They got alumni, bro.
Man, there's so many. DC was there with us for a long time.
Yeah, my kid
was there. Yeah,
I remember. Yeah, but a lot of people, y'all like talk about collaboration, which I feel you. You gave a lot of people opportunities, and experience, and an outlet. So I mean,
Big ups to D1 too, because he was there.
D1, we jumped. I always equate it like this: like we all jumped off the porch together. You know what I mean? And it's like, and so I look at and that's what's so refreshing about like going to like the jazz market on Wednesday nights and seeing like and I don't want to equate it like another version of that, but I feel like there's these waves of people who jump off the porch and like you kind of. And I feel like my wave of jumping off the porch with all my contemporaries, whether it be D1, whether it be all the 2 Cent crew, whether it be like Cole Young, and all these people who like, I remember, you know, just like we was doing it on a very low level, and then all of a sudden,
people
you know what I mean?
People are finding their stride. What you got, Malik? Malik knows you probably willer than all the rest of us. What you got?
I like that word, willer.
Yeah. I feel it.
So DC always reminds us that we're really living in a Renaissance age.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah, it's happening right now.
I think, I agree with that, 100%. And, yeah.
Well, that's kind of, I think we talked about with collaboration and like what you were doing with 2 Cent, which I do hope you guys continue and pick up doing it, even if it's a media thing. But like the jazz market just provides people with an outlet, an opportunity, you know, to be seen, to be heard, to express themselves. And it's a lot of those opportunities happening in New Orleans that people are like emerging, you know. So yeah, it's very, very similar. It's just like creating a platform for people, I guess is what it is.
Yeah, and I think that's that's always been the case, like finding that platform and that vehicle. And I think there was a certain point in time when I was blessed because a camera was like one of the main platforms and
You're so
vehicles.
good with it, man. I hope you
I
didn't lose
appreciate
any
that.
of
Thank
that.
you. I mean, it's weird. It's hard to like. Oh, my bad.
No, you
I
got
heard
it.
voices in my head. It was not voices in my head. It was actual voice somewhere here. I was like, okay. But anyway, but being that at that time, I think the camera was like the main vehicle for people to get their voices heard, and so it was kind of like a funnel. Like no matter what you did, at some point it had to go through the lens of a person who was either going to hold the camera or put it on. You know what I mean? So I was blessed to be in that position for a lot of people to just be present and to have my camera up while something important was happening or while somebody was asserting their artistry. You know what I mean? So like D1's career, I had nothing to do with his music, but at the same time, like his first music video, we created together. You know, I directed pretty much his first body of music videos from his beginning. So it's like my role was small, but at the same time, I felt honored to even be a part of the story. You know what I mean? Same for with the individuals in 2 Cent, with just being present in the moments post Katrina. Yeah, so there's a whole lot just thinking about. You got me thinking about all this stuff now. But,
yeah, man. Well, I've said it before. The city, we appreciate what you do, what you bring to us. Y'all have something? A question for Bmike?
And you just never know who's paying attention, really.
Yeah.
Like who you influencing, who you affecting. Because once again, I was you didn't even know me at the time, but I was watching y'all. You feel me? And I'm doing the same stuff at this point. So you just never know who you touching by just pushing, doing your own thing.
And that's a good point too. Like on terms of New Orleans and what we do well. I remember talking with Io Scott, and he was talking about his father, John Scott, and having this idea of passing it on, this idea of, like this, the thought that whatever you're doing, whatever you got, just being conscious about passing it on to someone else. And I feel like I'm blessed to be where I am because of many people in my life who passed it on to me. And so it's always been an important factor for everything that I do to kind of always be conscious of, like, how am I passing it on? You know what I mean? I feel like we all do that naturally in New Orleans in a way where it doesn't necessarily have to be a program or like a school setting or like an apprenticeship program. It's like if somebody's interested, it's not hard for them to just be like, yo, DC, I'm interested, blah, blah, blah. Like, let me just rock with you for the day. You know what I mean? So
that happens.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's what we do well. You know what I mean? So I'm conscious of trying to make sure that I'm present in that moment too, to be passing it on as much as possible.
Yeah, true that. I feel that. You mentioned something, or can I ask you something first? You mentioned something earlier about like creating a piece of art and it failing because it didn't get the point across that you wanted to. Have you ever felt like you had a failure and like people not getting the point of something? Any in your career, which has been quite impressive. Anything you felt like was a failure?
I mean, I feel like people see maybe like 20, 30%. Not even gonna say that, maybe like 40% of what I do, and the rest of it is stuff that doesn't make it to the public view because I felt like I couldn't get it to. There was a disconnect between what was in my head and what actually came out. But I do feel like I don't like equate things as failure. I always think of things as these moments to constantly learn, and I feel like I don't think I'm at like the best version of myself. I'm always trying to get there. You know what I mean? So any moment that I see as an opportunity to learn is what I embrace. You know what I mean? I try not. It gets hard. The perception of success makes it a little bit difficult to continue to sharpen yourself. You know what I mean? Because I remember a friend of mine told me a long time ago. He said it's easier to prove people wrong than it is to prove people right. So it's a blessing, but it's also like a little bit of a challenge to be in a space where people expect great things from you because you like it gets a little bit difficult for you. So you know, I had so much fun and excitement, and that's why I try to go to spaces where people are like where I could prove them wrong, you know what I mean? Because there was so much moments in those early days where it was just constantly like proving people wrong, constantly like, oh, you didn't think we could do this? Well, boom.
It's that underdog fight.
Exactly.
It's that underdog fight.
That's like the human thought. You know, David and Goliath, Moby Dick, all these different things. We love these stories about like overcoming obstacles and showing people like you didn't anticipate it, but boom. So, I mean, so it's not like I'm searching for failure, but I feel like failure is such a huge part of growth that it's almost like you need it. You know what I mean? Like you don't. I don't even equate it as like a something that needs to be highlighted because I want it to be a part of me constantly so I can constantly grow.
Right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying?
That's just a part of being a visionary. You always want more. You're never satisfied. That's just a
Definitely.
part of being ambitious as well.
Definitely, yeah, because we're all living and growing, and we're not, you know, how Jay-Z said, it's all about progressions. Lawyers
Right.
should be arrested. That's not his flow. I should have did it in Jay-Z's flow.
That's part of the quest of the artist, man. I feel like if you feel like you've arrived, you're dead.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like as a part of like human beings that engage and interact with other people, like I feel like we are at our best when we look at everyone as a professional, something that we can learn from. You know, no matter what the engagement is, it could be somebody you're talking to, a bum on the street or whatever. It's like, so everybody's a professional at something. And if I'm engaging in conversation with you, then I'm trying to learn that. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to just stunt what I got, you know, like, oh, let me tell you something. Shut up and let me let you listen. Like, I love to be in spaces where all I can do is just listen and just shut up and be a fly on the wall. And, you know, just absorb it. I don't care what that room looks like. It could be a scholarly setting or it could be in somebody's living room, you know what I mean? And so I think that's also a part of, that's not like a, like going to school, which is not, I don't have no issues with school or the school institutions, but I feel like as a driven person, you're constantly trying to absorb and grow and learn and learn and learn. So
Right, you're always learning.
yeah.
Man, I really appreciate. I know you got to get somewhere in about 20 minutes.
They gonna text me.
So I really appreciate you coming here, man. Any last words for Bmike before he gets out of here?
Man, it's just like change your perception of reality. I mean, I was in this space the other day where me and a good friend broke. We went someplace where we probably shouldn't have been. And I think it was for installation.
Oh yeah, man.
But because I saw so much art and visual art where some people may thought it was junk. I
Yeah.
saw somebody that was trying to create something.
That's that paint where it ain't.
Yeah. So it's just like when you inspire to create, and you keep any place you go, you're still gonna want to create something. You see the beauty of something where other people don't see it. So, so I think like a lot of things, like with Exhibit B or Studio B, it was an inspiration to a lot of people that they can create and recreate spaces and images and places. And
Absolutely.
to where they could do it, and they're just doing it now. So it was just like I think for a lot of creators in New Orleans, that was just like a life changing experience.
Yep. For me,
Well,
I'm going to see it.
anytime somebody, I appreciate that. Anytime somebody say that, I definitely got to like put the prerequisite out there that it wasn't just me.
Right.
It was a lot of people. You know what I mean? I would get checked. It'd be like.
Especially in this
But no,
city.
real talk, it is true though. It is true. Like I felt like it was a blessing to see that grow and manifest, and to see it do what it did. It was a dream come true, and it's still something that I think about often. There's tons of footage. At one point, we're gonna put together some type of documentary that kind of showcase all of what happened behind the scenes. There was so much that happened. There was a mattress on fire when Erykah Badu was on stage. Let me put that out there. Like there was a mattress somewhere in the back of the.
Yeah, it
Stuff
looked
like
like
that.
it was a few mattresses on fire.
Yeah, and shout out to Steve-O who put out the fire in that mattress.
Steve-O did that?
Yes.
Shout out to Steve-O. Didn't he finish?
Yeah, he just graduated.
He just graduated
Yeah,
recently. Shout out to
Steve-O,
Steve-O. Yeah, man. So before I get out of here, thank you for that beautiful mural in New Orleans East.
Yeah.
I'm an East Beast, and that one speaks to me because ain't a whole lot of beauty out there.
You know who sponsored that?
Tell me.
Russell Simmons.
Nice.
Oh,
nice.
really?
Dope, man.
Wow.
Dope.
It wasn't supposed to be dope. It was supposed to be like, wait, Russell Simmons.
Oh, I forgot he is freaking. Yeah, he is on a perv. I forgot. I be forgetting the list of the people on the perv list.
But you know what? But
he's still Russell Simmons though.
I just want to throw that out there.
His money sponsors something that inspires peace and positivity and
he did a lot of good things.
He did a lot of great things.
That has nothing to do with nothing. So
that make me want to ask you.
Pay for that.
That make me want to ask you one last thing. All right, you usually
do that. I want to add something too.
Like, my bad, I'm sorry.
No, you got it.
You're usually so composed. I want to know: is there anything on your journey in the last few years, whether it's a celebrity or person, or even not a celebrity, that hit you that really make you go, "Damn!" Like that just happened, or that person I just hollered at, or whatever. Is there any of it that really touched you to the level that, damn, I'm about to do a backflip or something?
Yeah, don't you know Most Def personally?
That's my dude. Yeah, I learned a lot from him. Yeah, that's like one of my mentors.
So who star strikes you?
I think so. This is what I'm trying to do better in 2018, God willing, because I've created this way of coping that's like I'm present but I'm not present. It's like I'm kind of just skating because it's like I have this. It's just like this thought that never mistake your presence for the moment. Like never. How's it, Coco? It's like never never mistake your presence for the moment. So like think that you're. It gets deep. Like ancient what was it? Ancient Greeks had this thought of genius where it wasn't about a person. It was like this deity that would visit you, and that's only. So when you created something that was great, you didn't.
It wasn't you.
It wasn't you. It was just the fact that your genius came through, and then genius kind of switched over years and became like to be connected to the individual.
Right.
So it's like it does this duality. One, when you did something great, you couldn't boast yourself, and then two, if you did something wrong, you couldn't fault yourself. He's like, oh, my genius didn't visit me that day. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like that Maya Angelou quote, man. Maya Angelou said something along the lines of, you shouldn't believe all the hype that people give you, because if you believe all the hype, then you got to believe all the
That's one of my favorite interviews. Like she said, don't pick it up, don't let it down. She said, so if you pick up when people say, oh, you're great, you're good, you're the best, if you pick that up, then you also got to pick it up when they say you're the worst. You know, so it's like, it's a duality of it. But so I can say good and bad. Like I'm often in spaces that I either don't deserve to be in or spaces that I'm like, how did this happen?
Right.
But I don't fully like exist in a moment because I don't want it to like mess up my psyche in a way where I'm like, yeah, I'm here, I'm up in this thing. Because I feel like that can be dangerous. You know what I mean?
We're not invincible out here.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But there are these moments in 2017 has been beautiful. You know what I mean? Like just like that whole Nike situation was just bananas. And like people who I've always looked up to, like Dave Chappelle, like having him come through to the studio and not just coming through like, oh, I'm here, but really being moved by what he saw to the point where he was like, man, I'm flying my wife and my kids here. They need to see this. And then to see him do that, and it's even still, I mean, so Chappelle Show, I mean, if you watch Tucson, you used to know that Chappelle Show is definitely like the biggest motivation for me personally and for that whole wave. Like we were basically trying to recreate the Chappelle Show while it was still on. You know what I mean? So for Chappelle to send me a text like not even a month ago, he's like, do you know Neil, co-creator of the Chappelle Show? He's like, yeah, well, he's working on this project, and I want to refer you for... And I'm like, this is crazy that Chappelle's referring me for something, blah, blah. So, I mean, there's all these different moments where I'm like, dang, so how did it get to this point? But I try my best to, like, not let it consume me in a way where I can, like, make a list. But clearly I just did make a list.
But it shows, though, like, your humility shows.
I will say that somebody so talented, so successful, you're very humble. I've been in places where you were like...
You wouldn't even know you were there.
Well, and you hate when the person on the microphone says your name, right? You hate like because you be trying to be there low key, but let them say your name, you're gonna hide your face. Like you're so humble, you don't want the applause.
I got a whole thought on that too. I mean, on the idea of being humble. I mean, I feel like I ain't mad when someone's not humble. You know what I mean? Me and Kevin argue all the time.
Me either.
Kevin,
God,
and Kevin, I'm putting you out there. You wouldn't mind because we talk about this publicly all the time. But Kevin, for example, can't stand like Michael Jordan because of the stories of how he acts in real life. Yeah. Right. But I feel like I would expect it. I would want that from Mike. I mean, because that's what he was on the court. You know what I mean? Like you can't tell him to turn it off. Like, oh, now you at a party. Like turn that off. Yeah. But yet that's what we want you to do when you performing. So, I mean, I feel like, I guess I don't quite perceive humbleness as like the
greatest compliment.
As a compliment. I mean, it's something that I was just raised a certain way that just, I feel like everybody's, you can't curse right now.
Not really.
I didn't think you cursed.
I don't curse, but I was going to say the N-word.
Oh, you know N-word.
Well, they got this song, Every N is a Star. So I just feel like, that we are all special, and we live in a society that kind of like creates this merit system where some people can perceive that they're more valuable than others. But truthfully, like, at the end of the day, everybody's doing something amazing. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's engaging in something. We're all living in this country under a president that don't care about you, and we all still beautiful and making it pop, making it shake, making alchemy, and doing our thing. Some people are blessed that they got the platform where people can see it, but there's people who doing it every day better,
like everybody's professional at something, man. And I think an old Chance the Rapper from the mixtape, he said that everybody's somebody's everything.
Yes.
Nobody's nothing.
Yes.
So that's good words to live by. So before we got here, have you ever been to Lincoln Beach?
Lincoln Beach? I don't think so.
You know what Lincoln Beach is? Oh, talk to Malik, man. It is deep. So it is the.
I think I might have been there. Well, where is it?
It's in the east.
Oh, yeah.
It was the black beach in New Orleans. It's abandoned now.
It used to be tagging back there.
Yeah. Now there's so much.
Yeah.
Malik kept
Talk to
calling
Cole
it-
Young about
kept
that. He got an interesting Lincoln Beach story.
Oh, good. Yeah, let's talk to Cole Young in 2018. Let's get him here, man. I bought a couple of his posters. But
What's happening at Lincoln Beach?
So many installations, apparently.
Oh wait, so this is happening currently, like not sanctioned.
Right. We've been there. I've been there a couple times now. It's beautiful back there. First of all, I can imagine people want to shoot music videos and things back there. But it's also a bunch of really nice graffiti installations, as Malik kept calling it. But,
Wait, I want to go. I haven't been out there in years.
Yeah. Oh, let me take you.
Yeah.
Can I?
Really?
Yeah.
I want to go out there.
Can I
in
take you,
2018,
please?
no more graffiti backgrounds and videos, please.
Yeah, I know, right? All photo shoots. All right, man. Thank you for coming, bro. And let me take you to Lincoln Beach for real. I think I would enjoy that experience.
Music video visuals.
What else you got? What else you got for 2018? Come on.
It's like you black on yourself Creole. You call these music.
Okay,
videos
2018. Let's stop calling everything we see an installation. Huh? How about that?
I'm just being. I don't know.
The black bourgeoisie with their
we gonna keep
visuals.
it bourgeoisie.
Black bourgeoisie. They got the installations, the visuals.
Oh wait.
Malik,
you can back me on this maybe. Algiers. I want to talk about West Bank.
Yeah, let's.
Algiers.
Let's talk about the
Let's
West
talk about
Bank.
how beautiful and amazing Algiers is in the context of black people, right? So it's called Algiers. There's many reasons why it's called. Well, many reasons why people think it's called Algiers. But one of the reasons that I like the most is because when colonists first came, they saw dark-skinned people on that side of the river, and it reminded them of Algeria, so they just called it Algiers because they assumed, because it was like whether it was black indigenous people or
Yeah, that's really good, but they can join one of the tourists and get there for 25.
Also, as the context of black people in West Bank, I'm sorry, I just got because I got to represent for the West Bank.
Yeah, this end of the year, we got to the West Bank and do his thing.
So, in the context of enslavement, the West Bank was, as at one point, it was basically like the warehouse for slaves, where in the French quarters where they would sell people who were enslaved, and then the West Bank would be where they basically like was like the warehouse. So when they need to restock, they would cross the river, pick up more, and come back. You know what I mean? So Algiers in the context of black people is super important. It is the oldest part of New Orleans, or Algiers Point. And you got to talk to somebody like Malik Rahim who can speak to like Algiers being called Freetown because it was an area where free black people existed and lived. So don't hate on Algiers too much because West Bank.
Algiers has a beautiful past, and in 2018, and in 2018 they're still living in it, huh? It looked like 1999 in Algiers, don't it? All right.
Shout out to all the West Bank, Edna Carr, everybody.
Yeah, man, dude. Shout out to the West Bank. You know, all jokes aside, all due respect to the West Bank, to all the whole city of New Orleans. But man, you put on for the West Bank hard, bro. Like if it wasn't for you, I don't know what we'd go over there for, really.
This is the way I live. I think that's the last West Bank star.
Oh, that was, see, I didn't even know.
Well, he was from where's that area?
You know your
West
own.
Bank have so many neighborhoods. like
From like Wagman or something?
No, what's the part right before Wagman? Wait, it started with H.
Harvey? No.
Look good. Oh, I forgot. Jessica, I forgot you.
Oh, you West Bank too?
No, I am not. No, I just have respect for the
Wait,
West
first of all, West Bank got
neighborhoods like
Chopper. Chopper just had his song remixed by Yo Gotti with French Montana.
Oh, okay.
So Chopper style. Y'all like Chopper style.
Yeah.
And we got Baby Boy the Prince.
I heard Frank Ocean was from the West Bank.
Oh yeah, he's living across the street from me. Yeah, Frank Ocean.
All right.
Across the street from you?
Yeah. Who else from the West Bank?
You should
we got a
think
few
that hard.
folk.
Yeah, but you put on hard enough. If it ain't nobody else, man, if it ain't nobody
And you ain't
else,
make it in New Orleans until how the rappers you say you had to get a crib in Eastover. That's on the West Bank.
Eastover is not on the West Bank.
I'm sorry.
Eastover's
English
in New
turn.
Orleans.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
English
okay.
turn.
Okay, well,
That's the halls.
See, even your heart is on this side of the river. You feel me?
English turn is what I meant to say. Is where Cash Money had the few houses.
I don't know if you heard. I like to walk to the Mississippi River and just spit. And just pray that it makes it to that side of the river.
That's so messed up.
I would rather do that than cross the river. That's just me personally.
I just want to say,
He said, "I'm praying for y'all."
Sometimes I walk to the Crescent City Connection and piss on it, just and then walk away and stay on my side. I do it. I do sometimes.
I'm glad you told that story at the end of this interview, DC.
The West Bank all day representing.
Brandon Bmike Odums, thanks again for coming, man. Thank you so much for fitting into your schedule.
I appreciate the invite, man.
And not that you need any more followers, but where can the people follow you?
They can follow me.
Bmike2C on Bmike2C on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then Brandon Bmike
Malik
Odums
wants to inform me that Studio B has released hoodies.
Oh, let me see. Is that what you wear?
This is one right here. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Oh man, so
that's really
I don't know if you realize on the last episode we shot up the web series that the last episode we
with
shot
the pink shirt.
I'm wearing
dope.
the
Appreciate
pink
that.
version of this. Yeah. Well, I hope you appreciate it when we're done. It's a little wonky.
Oh, well, you know, I'm all about the arts.
We put it in the best light we can.
But one of the things we're doing on the show is every episode his character's gonna be wearing something different.
Oh yeah, I'm always
local
listening to like local music. Also Raheem will be naked in the same scene as that shirt that I have on, but we still will make you proud. I swear to God.
I mean, you know,
he'll look that bad naked, so it'll be all right. It'll be all right.
It'll give people a reason to look at the shirt.
There you go. There you go. All right, y'all, man. We're gonna take a break and play about 3 songs this time. Mastermind, what you got queued up?
I actually got one by Phat Girl that we just got. Juggernaut.
Oh, Phat Word, nice. All right, cool. What's the Juggernaut by Phat Word? You like Phat Word?
Yeah, I shot some videos for him too. Yeah.
Dope, man. Did you shoot where yet? The video for where yet? Because that's our opening song.
Oh, wait, there's a video for this?
Yeah, there's a video for where yet.
I haven't shot a video in like 5 years.
This is okay, maybe that old, but this is Phat Word Juggernaut. Stay tuned to the Misbelief Radio Show. Check out my Facebook Live video, by the way. My name's DC Paul, and the Misbelief also shares this video from our page. You can get all the behind-the-scenes antics and a little bit more conversation with Brandon Bmike Odums before he leaves the station.
Like a really cool Oprah story. You only gonna get that Oprah story by hopping on the live. So come ride with us.
Check it out.
Yeah, we talked about that on the Facebook Live video. So if you check us out, get that behind the scenes.
Like Jesus niece, that's a Kanye lyric. I got friends, family, high places
like Jesus niece.
Can I please?
Say my piece.
You
fresh to death, or I'm
I got rap lyrics for days.
All right, well, y'all stay tuned to the Misbelief Radio Show, man. Check out the Facebook Live video and don't get nothing on you.
You heard me?
You heard me. Good interview, man. Got you talking. Cool. I do want to take a Malik beat.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't been in like.
I took Malik.
It's been since like
the 90s.
Before Project Beat. Like we used to always look for spaces to paint, and Lincoln Beach would be hard because it was like patrolled a lot by like the levee police or whatever. They must have forgot about it.
Yeah. Went on Halloween at night and then did some live video. We went. It wasn't scary, really. It was more beautiful than anything. I took Malik there during the day.
Yeah, take me back. Yeah, because I would love to see who's out there actually painting, like who the artists are painting.
He was hard to recognize, but it's so much space.
Yeah.
But everybody has their own, even if you want to do something.
Yeah, I might do it. I've been looking for somewhere to go to.
Yeah, but I wish we could do something.
I guess we putting it all out there now. We're not going out there. We just gonna go to Walmart and
Get it, Oshun. Get it.
What y'all doing?
They're plotting and planning.
Plotting and planning? Dipping and diving?
Yeah. Listening to the smooth sounds of Phat Word. Miss Jessica. The bats.
Y'all was in there for a hot hour. It took up too long. It was a hot hour. Okay, Brian cooked for us again.
These are brownie.
Okay, brownie.
These are sweet potatoes.
Wait, point to the sweet potatoes. All those. Okay.
This was cranberry orange.
Okay, that was good.
Apple cinnamon.
Okay.
Oh, no. Banana nut and apple cinnamon.
Okay, alright. Those are fantastic. You made those just for us? Oh, I'm so happy. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year 2018.
Happy New Year to you.
What's up?
Happy New Year to you. Everybody come get our brownies. They're not Lay's, but they're good. No, it's not. I don't need that much time. It's going to be fun. Right. Yeah, okay. You're right. You guys are right. It's cranberry orange. It's really good. They have apple cinnamon. You need that one. You need the apple cinnamon one. Please act out on camera. Please. Please try to get a restraining order on you. Do it. Oh, hi, Bmike.
Oh, wait. Did I walk into somebody's shit?
No. This is what we do. We're random.
Okay.
It's fine. We're the most random group of millennials you've ever met. That word. I love this song. All right, Brian, you can have it back now. Oh, wait, do you want to eat something first?
Sure.
Okay, eat first.
No, you're good.
Because you've been holding the camera for an hour. Let's play MTV Crib. Somebody go stand behind the door and I'm not. And then y'all open. Come on, go. Go, Jason. Go, Jason. Have a knock.
What's down?
Oh, wait.
Oh, she got it on her face.
Wait, hold on. How do I flip this? Okay, do it again. Okay, wait.
Thanks for baking these.
Okay, go.
Brian.
Brian.
Welcome to the Misbelief house, motherfucker. We got Brandon.
Brandon in the kitchen. He making my
Blueberry
that she cooked.
Come on, motherfucker.
We got muffins,
Muffins.
y'all. We got muffins in the studio. Yeah,
Look at all this sound system.
Okay.
What a
Oh, look over there behind the computer.
Oh, wait, we still on Crib, huh?
Yeah, come on.
We got bottles.
Bottles.
We got bottles in this bitch.
Bottles.
Misbelieving.
Misbelieving. Yeah. Poppin', where we going?
Over here, that's the soundboard.
The soundboard.
Where we, mixed it. If we know
Not
the
the
songs,
illy.
you got some local songs, some local music. Send us your
I'm
shit.
so bad at the
Don't have
camera,
no
y'all.
niggas in it. You heard me? It's a door.
The door, we can't go out there.
It's a door. It's a dark door.
A dark door.
to the dog area.
To the dark.
Malik.
Hey, what's
Malik.
going
Beautiful
on?
dark man.
Tell them about where they can go to No Nola Tours. What's the website?
Oh, website coming in 2018. But you can hit me up on Instagram at No Nola Tours. It's the best historic black tours in the city.
And tell them they can customize. They can go to certain areas.
You want to talk about free people of color? You want to talk about Creole? You want to talk about any subject matter? I got you. This is that good PJ Morton. We got that surround sound in the house, in the crib.
Okay, let me not touch that.
Shout out to PJ Morton. I shot for him. I shot at what that was. Soundbites on Ace Hotel. Thursday.
Every Thursday he does.
Not every Thursday, so once a month.
Okay, once a month.
Yeah. So him and Sheba from Q93.
They do their thing at the Ace, right?
Yeah.
Where?
3 Keys. So that's that.
Oh, that little room in the front.
Yeah.
They fit all the people in that room? They must have standing room only.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's what my trivia is.
That's what?
Trivia night is.
Yeah, it's not raining, is it?
I don't think so. Did you write it right?
Can't wait to 2018 for that Nola Tours. Phat Girl Nola collab.
That'll be a good thing,
We going to y'all restaurant near you. We're going to eat, try, online. We're going to be on it.
Do it for real though. We have our first webisode coming out in a few weeks. And
Alright, I'm going to give this back to the owner. Because I don't know how he does this shit. My arms hurt. I'm too big.
He be
push-ups,
yeah. He's like, I gotta hold up this iPad.
Alright,
so silly.
So silly.
So what are you gonna? So in 2018, what are you gonna do for your theatrical or musical? Beautiful B. What's the plan?
That's what I've been thinking about. I don't know.
Oh my God,
I have
it's so
ideas. Hopefully they come to fruition. I'm working on some music.
Okay, cool.
Maybe I can actually do this.
Music. You working on music? Ooh yeah. Okay. I think we all gotta go in there.
You on it?
Yeah. Let me do one of these apple cinnamon.
Ain't apple cinnamon.
What is it?
Sweet potato.
If it's like I get, you think they're gonna get you somewhere? It's not.
You gotta watch yourself. Watch it.
So we ain't gotta take no more breaks.
Watch yourself. Yeah, he can do 3 phones. Maybe not taking no more.
Piece of the flowers. What is wrong
And
with this
we
shit?
are back. We're back, y'all. Welcome back to the Misbelief Radio Show on WBOK AM 1230. I'm DC Paul, the Millennial Arsenio. And who's this to my right side?
The radiant beauty herself from the Sunshine State. Just kidding. Oh, shoot.
Okay, all right. Who's this to my left side?
This is that actor guy, Mr. Bats.
Hey, Mr. Bats is hiding with you. Who's that to Oshun's right side?
This is Jay still keeping it real, aka the always hungry one.
You know your left and your right?
I like that.
Huh?
You know your left and your right?
No, only
I
on
have
like.
trouble with it most of the
I
time.
do too. I have a problem with it all the time.
I put a tattoo on my right hand. Part of it was that for me. What's the right
That's so
side?
smart.
And I still mess it up sometimes. Who's this right here to my left side?
Yo, this is Malik of No Tours. I can give a tour near you. Come holler at me.
Near you. If y'all knew how we was in this station struggling with 2 microphones and 1 in the booth, but we're making it happen like Black Magic Millennials do. You heard me. Who's that in the booth, by the way? Okay. Was his mic? Did y'all hear him clearly now?
I didn't hear him.
All right. No, Lord. Oh, man. No. The station falling apart, Lord. You know what? If it's just 1 mic, all I need is 1 mic. You know what? I'd excuse.
That's what Nas said.
I'd excuse all of you guys and then just do the show on. It's not on? Oh, man. Trying to figure out what's going on. Mastermind, you need a microphone up in there. So just because this is our last show of 2017, instead of doing like our usual segments like what's going on, I think we probably still will do that next.
Yeah, I got a next for you.
We had next, and we should have the same focus. Hopefully we have.
Yeah, recap. It's gonna be good.
Recap. Good. So I want to do some recaps, but I want to start this off by reading a comment. And I wish I could pronounce this person's name. It's spelled Edovssy. That's the first name. They don't have enough vowels for me to say it out loud. And the last name is Digodot. The person commented on one of our Facebook posts saying it's getting close to February again. WBOK 12:30 a.m. shouldn't still be playing the Misbelief commercials in 2 months next year. If the Misbelief advertising commercial is still the same, I'm hoping to make a call-in joke about congratulations on your first show in February 2018. So it's pretty funny that like you never know who's listening. So this person apparently had been listening since they know that we started in February, and they hear that WBOK is still playing the same commercial. Where like I'm saying it's a new show. You know, but by February 2018, I shouldn't still be saying it's a new show because we will be 1 year in. So let's recap this awesome, amazing-ass year that we've had so far. It's only episode 43, but I mean, 2017 has been such a blessed year. Oshun, what you got for us?
So this morning when I was talking to DC about today's show, he was like, well, what should we do today? And I was like, you know what? We should make a segment called Who Said It? So I went back.
Who said that there?
Thank you, Mark. I was hoping you did that.
Who said that?
I was hoping you did that. Thank you. So I went back and looked at a lot of episodes, which was crazy, and I got some quotes. And we're going to see who do you guys think said that.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, this is going to be fun.
I'm going to give you a couple of easy ones. Who said in episode 3, spell that Mr. out like Celie did?
I didn't say it.
Spell that Mr. out like Celie did.
I mean, I think it's regarding me, but I don't think I said it.
So who do you guys think?
I think it was Joseph.
You think it was Joseph?
I think it was Alpha Joe.
That sounds like a DC. That sounds like a DC thing, maybe.
You think it's Joseph?
I don't
But was it on air or was it
I'm not telling y'all that part because that will give it away.
Oh.
So that's the trick part about these.
That
I'm
just
not
seems
telling you
so-
if they're on air or off.
Either if you're listening or if you're watching on Facebook Live, somebody said that. Somebody said spell it, Mr. Out like
Episode 3, that was DC Paul.
Yeah,
He told Martin, he told the people on air, you better spell that Mr. Out like Sealy did if you want to find him. Okay, here's one.
This is good.
Someone said, we have something in common, Brian. We know how to make kids.
Oh my God.
Who said...
I'm going to shoot at Madani.
Madani?
Yeah,
Malik think it's Madani.
Okay.
I feel like
I second that.
I feel like Ashley Branch said that.
You think Ashley Branch said it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, but by the way, is it just us or is it guests as
It
well?
could be.
That's mean. That's mean. How you put
If it's
guess?
guests, I think Ashley Branch said that.
Okay, so it actually was Indian Mac. Indian Mac told that to one of our guests in episode 4. We actually have something in common, Brian. We
how
both
about
know
that?
how to
That was
make
Brian.
babies.
That was Brian Brown.
Yeah, Brian Brown.
And they thought beautiful Brian.
Yeah,
That was
and
Brian
she
Brown because he came with his kid.
Yep, and she proceeded to ask him, were they the Browns from Gertown? Because her is a Brown. Okay.
I miss you, India.
Yeah,
We definitely miss India.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Okay, let's see. This one. I don't know which one to do. Okay, Eldridge Point is nice. Nice to look at from our side of the river.
DC.
I had to have said that.
That's DC.
Who said it?
All
DC?
DC.
Martin
I don't remember saying that, but it sounded like me.
It's either DC or Jay Steele because they're the leading West Bank like haters on our show.
It was Jessica.
It's Jay
Steele. You said in episode 17, Eldridge Point is nice. Nice to look at from our side of the river. Who said, and I quote, you look like a lesbian from Venezuela.
Oh, God. Joseph said that. Joseph said that.
What do you
Go with
think?
DC, Joseph.
I don't think I said that.
It sounds like DC, but because DC thinks it's Joseph, I'm agreeing.
I'm going to go with Mastermind.
Oh, that's
Oh.
I think it was DC.
All the
Okay.
lights on now.
Is it?
Yeah. But Malik
speak.
Malik talk?
Okay, cool.
I said I'm going to go with
Yeah.
Mastermind.
Oh, wow, okay.
Go.
So it was actually DC in episode 5. He told that to Joseph because Joseph had just got a haircut. He just got a haircut.
Wait, so I thought Joseph said it. I actually said it to Joseph.
To Joseph. Well, it had something to do with Joseph.
I feel like a lesbian from Venezuela.
I'm cheating.
No, you can't cheat. Okay, who said I'm feeling like Gucci Man when he just got out of
Oh
jail?
my God, who said that?
Joseph. That's Joseph.
Joseph.
Joseph? Everybody say
Yeah,
Joseph?
that's a Joseph line.
It was actually Martin Batts Bradford in episode 25.
Oh,
What?
wow.
I quoted you, Gucci?
I'm feeling like Gucci Man when he got out of jail. Then that's what DC said. You know they said that was a
The
clone.
clone.
Hey, you said that, okay? You
Oh,
said
no.
that.
Damn.
This is good.
Somebody said, I really don't push this, but I'm a pretty great photographer.
Malik.
Malik actually
Yeah.
said that because we were actually, that was the episode of Tell Us Something People Don't Know About Yourself. And that was what Malik
I
said.
was like, what? Who don't
That
know
was
that
it.
movie? I really don't push this. I'm being facetious in this nigga's thing.
Well, the way he does push No Nola tours
Right.
more
Yeah,
than
yeah.
Frozen photography.
Right.
That's true.
I feel like marriage is a P. Diddy contract. Who said that?
You said that.
I
You
said, definitely said that. I
You-
said that in episode 26 when we had our sister circle moment. This is an easy one. I actually have a sperm necklace because I'm number
That's
one.
Kalena.
That's Kalena?
Like Kalena.
That was Kalena.
Shout out to the Lady Martian.
Shout out to Kalena.
That would only be
Kalena.
That would only
I
be
love
Kalena. I have so many more that I don't know which way to go. Okay. Progressive passion mixed with some misbelief juice. Who said that?
DC Paul.
DC.
That's too much alliteration.
I do like my alliteration.
What you say? DC, everybody?
I don't remember saying
That was
but
one
it's-
Beth Bradford in episode 3.
Really?
Yes, you guys do not even know
No,
yourselves.
we
This
don't
is
say.
crazy. This
Oh,
is
man.
crazy. This is
What
crazy.
was that?
That was episode 3.
Progressive passion.
Mixed with some misbelief juice.
By the way, you guys go to TheMisbelief.podbean.com and check us out on iTunes and go back and listen to all 43 episodes we've done so far. We're having a good time.
And watch on YouTube, because some of this stuff is only live.
Some of the stuff check us out at TheMisbelief on YouTube. That's TheMisbelief, one word. Jessica, make sure you use TheMisbelief, one word.
One word.
In your captions and things.
It wasn't one word?
No, and the link you put up for the TheMisbelief.podbean.com, but you look for TheMisbelief, one word, you'll find us everywhere.
One word.
But what you got?
Okay, who said you can't be a connoisseur of football, Martin? It's not a fine thing.
Joseph.
That sound like
Mastermind. No. Somebody came at me. It was. I remember the conversation. And one Joseph was Devin. Sound like a D-Mac. No, because I don't think he even knew how to say that word fully.
I'm gonna say it was Jay Stale.
No, wait.
You ready? It was actually India in episode 4 when she tried to do the football segment about Cook getting traded.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So
I remember being told that by someone.
You guys, this is so funny. She ain't sexier than me, though. Who said that?
I feel like I said that.
I feel like
Yo, DC, everybody consistent?
It's a possible Malik on that one.
I don't know about that.
It sounds like stuff I say.
It's actually Madani in episode 7.
We forgot Madani existed. That is definitely some Madani.
That was when Madani and Jay Steele were the hosts.
And he said it about her. Yeah. Yes. I remember that.
That's Madani. I miss Madani. He's so funny.
Okay, who says Stitcher sounds like Stitcher sounds like a dating app for heavyset people?
That's DC Bob.
Did I say that?
That was definitely DC Bob. An episode.
Because I remember watching that from afar, and I was like, because Stitcher's actually things you get podcasts on. I remember I wasn't there for that. I think I was in a play, and I remember I was backstage going, it's a thing. It's really a thing. It's not.
You definitely said that episode 17. Here's one. I can't understand what you're saying. It sounds like a tire losing air pressure.
That's mean.
That's DC, too.
I don't think I said that to
We give all the mean stuff.
I know.
Must be DC since it's mean.
Who said that?
It was actually Jessica who said that in episode 25 when you first got your liners put in. You told DC.
We gotta start paying close attention to this mean one over to the left over here. Wow. Phat Girl Nola got the jokes.
That's funny.
Who said this one? One thing about me, I'm a lover and a fighter.
You said that.
It sounds like Oshun.
That sound like me? Everybody?
Yeah, that sounds like
that's the unicorn.
That's me? Y'all wrong.
Oh.
That was actually Mastermind in the booth in episode 25 again. Episode 25. Yep. That was definitely you.
Don't believe that about
We're
you.
getting most of them wrong.
We are getting all of them wrong.
I mean, we don't remember what we be saying. That means we ain't listened to the podcast. Ain't that something? By the way, download the Misbelief podcast.
Here's one. Urethra. That's a whole business. That's a whole business plan. You can take that to your friend and tell her to sell that.
I feel like this the fact that it started off with urethra. I mean, it started off with that mean it's me.
Okay, y'all going with DC?
It wasn't me.
That was definitely Jessica. That's
What? Wait, run that one back one more time.
Yeah, run that one back.
Hold up.
She said urethra.
What?
You be going in, Jessica. You be going in.
Okay,
wow.
let me tell you why. Because we were talking about clitoris bracelets, and then Martin went urethra. That sounds like a good business plan. And then you said urethra is a good business plan, Kalina. You should tell your friend to sell that whole line. That was episode 20.
Conversation lost.
I'm telling y'all should go back and literally watch yourselves because this is it's crazy. This is crazy. Let's see. I think that was it, y'all.
That was it?
Okay, cool.
I have no more.
I think
it's cool because I have some recap questions for the whole cast. I'm gonna start with you, Mastermind. Mastermind, what was your favorite interview guest, if you can think of one on the spot?
My favorite? Golly, man, you put me on the spot.
I know, right? We've had some great ones.
Honestly, you know what? I think my favorite one was probably Bmike.
Yeah, this one, that was a really good one.
Like a lot of things that touched me personally too. You know, like
likewise.
We all have to just refocus, and it was just so many things really. Like it's hard to pinpoint like everything that like person touched me, but yeah, I like Bmike.
Yeah, he was a good interview for our last episode of the year, and he really.
This interview reminded me when Jay-Z did his first interview when he did his comeback album, and it was just jewels after jewels after jewels. I was like, see, give it to them. Y'all was like, you have any questions? No, he said everything I wanted to know.
Okay, so who was your favorite interview guest?
I have two.
Who you got?
Kenneth Temple. Shout out to Ken.
Oh yeah, he was so.
He's really good, and Robert Hayes.
Oh yeah, I saw him last night. Yeah,
because
man.
Rob always brings me nice things.
Yeah, Rob is cool. He about the finer things in life. Malik, who are some of your favorite interview guests, if you can remember some?
Wow, well, I agree with that. Bmike definitely killed it.
Yeah, he
really did. My favorite interview guest, it's just so many great, unique people that came through. So I love it when Brandan Terrell comes through.
Yeah.
I love it when I don't know. I think Bmike was it. I think that was just like a great, calm, just the interview. Just the flow of it was just
great. Yeah. I like to get him talking. What'd you say, Mastermind?
Else I did like I don't know how I forgot this person. I forgot his name, but it was the one that makes the wine.
Robert Hay? Wait, who makes the wine?
Well, like
the wine kind of
Robert Hay, yeah, he was a good one. He was a good one. Yeah, Jay, still, you got a favorite?
I have three actually.
Who you like?
I loved Mikea Javon.
Oh yeah, that's what was one of my top three.
Yes,
she's talented, her energy, everything. Also, I loved Shayla from Biology.
I saw
yeah, she was really cool, and then also Kenneth Temple because you know he's a chef.
Cool dude.
Yeah, he brought us seasonings and stuff.
Yeah, I still got his seasons. 2 people brought us seasons, didn't they?
Yes, we had a chef. He was on the episode before that with the kid. I think he was on the same episode we did the kid actor, the little boy who had the sucker. Yeah.
His name's gonna come back to me real soon.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Bats, you got a favorite interview guest?
I liked. Shouts out to Buckles. He was a pretty cool guest. Shouts out to Quest every time he comes through.
Every time.
And Vitamin Q.
Yeah, I was going to say Vitamin Q is probably my favorite and my least favorite at the same time. Yeah,
he was actually, you know what? He was actually one of my favorite guests too.
We'll never forget it.
We'll never forget it.
Unforgettable, yeah.
We'll never forget it.
Memorable one.
Yeah, I think.
Up until now, Bmike, but that.
Yeah. Bmike was a great interview, but that one with Vitamin Q, I was going to ask for everybody's least favorite, but that's not proper.
Oh.
That's not proper.
No least favorite. Because we might want people to come back.
Yeah,
right.
I feel like that's going to turn into Charlamagne and Joe Biden.
No. But
we ain't doing that.
Yeah, so I would say the Vitamin Q was one of my favorites.
Okay,
I also like Mikea Javon. I also like Tavia.
Tavia,
too, from Tank of the Bangers.
I like every time you bring a comedian on.
Yeah,
they're always fun.
Chef Kelly.
They're always
fun.
Chef
Kelly's super funny.
But Kamari was great, Shervy. Like every time you bring a comedian on.
Ashley
is funny.
I like watching her and Camille. Shout out to Black Girl Giggles. I like watching them on the Facebook Live video. They were very funny. Yeah, all my comedian friends. Shadi was funny. Shadi was on the same episode as man, her name is what's her name? Her name she wrote the book.
She wrote the book. Oh, Sim.
Sharika. Biology?
No.
Brandy.
It starts with a.
His name's Sharika. Shakia.
Last name
I
Sim.
know her so well. Yes.
Brian, you nodding your head. Which one
I know her so well.
It starts with S.
Yeah. I'm so mad at myself.
Man, kick that St. Dog name SM.
There you go. Unless she would have been SM. But,
I don't want to forget
Sharita.
That's what I was trying to say. Sharita. There we go.
And I just talked to her.
Yeah, right. I see her often. But so that was the same episode of Sade. And I didn't even think about, I know he got so many jokes about woke people and stuff like that. So when he came in and he was like, how the studio smelled like shea butter or something, like he expected her not to be wearing no shoes and stuff like that. It was I like when I got a comedian on the episode with somebody who was pretty serious.
Right, because it balanced it out.
It definitely does.
Shouts out to the wrestling world champion, Jay Spade.
Oh, Jay,
that was such a unique situation.
That was super unique, and he's been doing his thing ever since. So, I'm going to make more of an effort in 2018 to share things from the Misbelief Facebook page from all the people who've been on our show. I follow them and what they do, and I'll make sure that if you come on here one time, you got our support from here on out. You know, so yeah. Let me see. Any favorite musical guests?
Raheem Gillespie.
Raheem was amazing.
I did like Joshua Kayla though.
That word was really good.
I love when Ray come through. Ray Wimley.
Ray Wimley. Yeah.
Raheem was amazing.
Great guess. Irie.
I mean,
Irie, yep.
Yeah, just Ray Wimbley and Brandon Terrell. Ray was just
Yeah,
not only full of energy, but just I want to learn. I want to,
Right.
you know. So yeah, so that was.
I remember that day. It's like once you start going back through these, you're like, dang, I remember such and such and such, and we had so much fun. We've had a lot of great moments.
Yeah,
1 year.
I like that.
And not even a year.
Yeah,
Not even a year.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been more fun than anything else. I make no secret of it. My favorite night of the week is Wednesday nights. But this is like in tough competition for my favorite night of the week because like we have.
Could you just lie? How you gonna sit up here and say my favorite night of the week is another night besides this one?
Man,
but I like this one
I don't
too.
make no sense. I tell it to Susan Henry. Shout out to Susan Henry. But like I love Wednesday nights, but like Saturdays just I get the same energy.
It's like coming home. On Saturdays, it's like coming home for me.
Yeah.
Like it's like
y'all feel like family. It's
correct.
like I know it's gonna be fun and laughs. It's gonna be New Orleans, which I love fun laughs in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Like so give me some of that, and I'm good for 2 hours every Saturday night.
And it don't feel like 2 hours.
No, it don't.
We get in here and them 2 hours pass by very quickly for everyone except for Brian.
Yeah, I know you. Shout out to Brian, who's he holds out the camera for the Facebook Live. But Brian is, oh my God.
2018, Brandon had a hold up. Yeah,
what you got?
So exactly how many S-bombs and F-bombs?
Oh, I didn't count that. I didn't count that.
We're supposed to get those things.
I should ask Susan Henry because she been getting the fines in the mail, so she would know. Yeah, we've had, man, I remember Vitamin Q dropped. He dropped, so he said mother effer, which Brian and I talked about this. If you go, that word is 4 syllables. If you say that word, of course, you're going to easily drop any one of the 1 syllable words, right? So, of course, he dropped the mother effer and then another one at some point. Everybody wants to say the N-word. I want to say the N-word right now.
Everybody.
You don't, I want to say it right now. I do.
Let me write this down. It's going to be next year. Everybody want to say it.
Will 2018 bring more living room sessions of the Misbelief?
I sure hope so. I sure hope so because
After dark?
I sure hope so. Yeah, because so like
Come on, Misbelief After Dark.
so if you follow the Misbelief on Facebook, on YouTube, you guys, we do what's called the Misbelief living room sessions from my home. It's usually a Facebook Live, a video session. Sometimes we record audio, but like for the most part it's video, and we get more uncensored. We can really be ourselves in the living room. That's where we had LaToya Cantrell, we had Hashim Walters, and Cindy Wynn. 2 of those candidates actually are taking office real soon. You know what I'm saying?
But that's not what Malik talking about.
He talking? No. I know. But like the Misbelief living room sessions is outside of this when we can get way more comfortable. And sometimes we were comfortable with LaToya Cantrell, right?
Real comfortable.
We were, but like when we get
not uncut,
right. We weren't uncut.
Right.
Like I had on a tie, But usually in the living room session, I might be sitting Indian style and really relaxed. And I think we should get different people to come kick it with us in the living room in a real relaxed environment. And do some video podcasts with people.
Well, funny enough, that was your original idea for the living room sessions. It just so happened that you got the opportunity to interview these people going for political office, and it was like, well, we can't go too edgy because they're running for political office.
Right. Yeah.
So now it could get close to what your original idea was for it, maybe.
Yeah, true that. I mean, and oddly enough, I didn't feel restricted because I did feel like I wanted to give respect to people who were running for office, so I didn't get as comfortable in my living room as I usually would. So I'm gonna say that was still like me being comfortable. If I'm talking to somebody running for mayor, I ain't gonna be living room comfortable. But like you can always check out what living room comfortable is to me in a living room session, and we're gonna do some more of those real comfortable, depending on who it is. How comfortable we get,
right?
You heard me. But it's always uncut, uncensored, and a lot of fun. We did one when we responded to Vitamin Q. And you know what? I was advised not to say that name, but you know what?
We're not talking no trash.
Right, it's the end of the year.
I mean, we did interview
It's something that happened. It's actually on our YouTube. It's on my Facebook Live.
This is the recap.
It's on the iTunes podcast. If you ever want to go back and check out our most... It wasn't even, like, I didn't even think it was that controversial.
Because the interview itself is...
I thought that the interview itself was as clean as...
It was the aftermath.
Right.
It was the
aftermath. I know,
right.
just like in the thing I did with Brandan Odums, where I kind of gave him a little bit of West Bank shade, you know what I'm saying? Like, I try to make my interviews kind of lighthearted like that, where we can crack some jokes. And you know that's what I do, you know, and we all cool. So hopefully in the future, know that coming on, if you're listening, know that coming on here, I never mean any ill feelings, any malice. I only want to have fun with you, talk to you.
None of us do.
Yeah, none of us do.
Right.
We just want to have fun with you, talk to you, and get your information out, whatever it is you want to promote and talk about it. I would be pleasured to have you here just for that reason and nothing else. So yeah, we have a what's going on out here. I have a couple, man. New Year time. Of course, we got time. Well, just is not actual, but like real quick.
Yeah, real quick.
So like New Year's Eve at the Joy Theater, we got Tank and the Bangers, Alfred Banks with Cool Nasty, Sweet Crude. It's gonna be a great ass time. What else happening on New Year's Eve? You know?
Man, it's like the roll call. So High Ho Lounge, they have the Bounce in the New Year with High Sizzle for New Year's Eve. My kid Javon at Blue Nile, New Year's Eve. Larry Merrow, he's doing a party at Graveyard Street. No, he's doing Apres Lounge.
Okay.
Here We Go has Graveyard Street. Atypical is doing another party on Magazine. And my two favorite events for this weekend is going to be one, Taking the Bangers at the Joy, but also Ray Clay Soul at New Orleans Jazz Market. It is I've covered. I'm actually Phrozen Photography is going to be the official photographer for that event. But it's beautiful. People come there dressed real nice. You get a free glass of champagne doing the toast for the new year. It's just a really beautiful event. Beautiful people. The DJ is always good. So I really, really like Ray Clay Soul at the Jazz Market on New Year's Eve. So that's a really good event.
But if you're looking for something to do during the day tomorrow, Blazing Worship is tomorrow at 5416 South Claiborne Avenue.
Is it?
Yes,
it's the end of the month.
It's tomorrow morning. Blazing Worship is tomorrow. Check us out, 5416 South Claiborne Avenue. It is a gospel brunch for a very specific audience, but it's always a good time. And it's a nice little self-care day or what have you.
Come get some wisdom. Oshun will be handing out wisdom and wise words individually packaged for each and every one of you for free.
Yeah, and
so come step by and let me hold your hand.
Misbelief Punch, if you're wondering what it tastes like, you never tried some, come on out tomorrow. It's going to be there.
Come get lifted with us.
Yeah, come have a good time. That's what it is.
Vibrations.
So I think we got time to do it. Are you going to give somebody some quick... I was hoping you would do a recap 2017 next. Is it something like that?
Ain't nothing like that.
Oh.
Nope.
Way to ruin the theme.
in a way, it's a recap, but it's not specific as you might be thinking.
Okay, well, you know what? Real quick, give him that neck. I know that's a horrible intro, but
all right, man. So in a weird way, you could say it's a recap of sorts, because this year for this final neck of the year, there's certain things that as I look throughout the week of different stories that were popping up, and I'm looking at the themes of these stories, and I'm seeing that wow, throughout this year, the same BS, the same bull crap is still prevailing. I want it to be gone as we go into 2018. So for instance, if we talk about fragile ass black men, apparently there's a story that went crazy because Issa Rae is dropping her next show is about a bisexual black man, and this apparently has driven the slow tips and the super macho black men to be like, no, that's emasculating, that's not right, because she putting out a show about a bisexual black man as if there's ever been a show about a bisexual black man. And I'm just tripped out like, man, dude, like where a person puts their penis does not determine his manhood. You feel me? If they got many ways that you can break down manhood, whether it's taking care of your kids, whether it's keeping it 100 and being real, whether it's trying to be better, trying to grow, whatever you want to call manhood, not one of them has any reference to sex. But for whatever reason, because this dude bisexual, you coming at Issa who's just trying to shed light on voices that don't get a chance, you giving us shade. So fragile black men, you get thrown in the gumbo pot of neckery. Then we go to crooked leaders. We look at Donald Trump has fired the AIDS Council that informs his White House and everybody about how we can get rid of AIDS. How in the world our crooked leaders think, oh no, AIDS ain't a thing, let's just fire the council and ignore it. So we're going to throw crooked leaders into that pot of gumbo neckery. Then we talk about unchecked cops. This week, a Texas police officer shot a 6-year-old boy dead, trying to shoot out some other people, trying to shoot this woman. And I'm like, dang, cops, if you it's like a rising escalation of crap with y'all. If it's not a black man, if it's not a black woman, we just had a white man the other day, and they say, hold up, if you think we can't get any worse in 2017, hold my beer, hold my donut. And we got a 6-year-old boy dead because y'all tripping. So unchecked cops, I don't want to say unchecked cops, because not all y'all, we don't know if all y'all crooked, but we know y'all ain't getting punished. And that's our problem. Y'all ain't getting punished, but y'all keep doing FS. Anyway, you're going to think about what that is. Anyway, throw them into the gumbo pot of neckery. Then we talk about crazy white men. Did you know that there's a study that found that white Republican men are more likely than anybody else to say that they sexually harass women at work? White men, white Republican men, the reason that we have most of the issues that we have currently in this country, it's that not only are they more likely to sexually harass men and women and sexually assault, but they're more likely to admit that they're doing it because they don't give no damn because they know nothing happens to them. So we throw all that in the same gumbo pot of just white people in general because that's most of the problems we have. And I just want to throw all of them in that pot. I want to heat that pot up. I want to throw some roux in there. I want to throw some crabs in there. I want to throw some shrimp in there. And just because you get neck, I want to throw some hot dog wieners in there because that's the type of gumbo that y'all need to stay stirring in. I want to throw some ham sandwiches in there. I want to throw oatmeal pie in there. I want to throw one old school apple pies. So what's the old school pie? Malik, I know you know. That's
talking about the moon pie?
I'm talking about Hubix. We're going to throw some Hubix pies up in there. We're going to throw some big shots up in there. We're going to throw a live gator in that mofo. And we're going to stir it all up. We're going to stir it all up. We're going to heat it all up. Then we're going to lick the left side of that hand. We're going to lick the right side of the hand. We're going to lick the back of the hand. And we're going to give a humpty heaven, healthy heaven, hell, big behind crop of that. For those that are new to this, that's that neck! Oh, y'all get it? Because we're leaving y'all in 2017 and we got number positivity coming for 2018. Straight up and down. You heard me?
Oh, y'all crazy.
Wow. All right. That felt like a recap, Nick. It did.
It really did. I feel like we went through.
I feel like all of those concepts of the Teddy Lorraine in 2017 and it needs to be brought down like the monuments in 2018. Hello?
Hello.
Word. You hear me? So Martin always turns up the heat with that neck, and I also think Kofi Berries like to look back at it, as I say.
Habarigani.
What's the news?
Yes, what's the news? So this is Kwanzaa, and a lot of people know when you say Habarigani, you're asking what's the news, but the response is the principle for the day.
Oh.
So when I say Habarigani, Oshun would say
Nia purpose.
Yeah. Oh, I love this one. I love it.
She took it from the downtown. She said Nia. Yeah, she went straight off.
Like,
I did when it came in today, that's what I did. He said I was like, Nia, I'm ready. So today we're going to just give you guys a live recap of all the St. Cofa sessions that we've had. Well, the majority of them. We're not going to take the time to go through each and every one, but just highlight some of our favorites, like Valina C. Jones. How can we not forget the great educator? The woman who provided a lot of children of color with a great education. How could we not?
Dr. Daddy-O Vernon Winslow, the first DJ, black DJ in New Orleans. So I can't forget somebody who paved the way for us in music, and the Alpha Man at that.
Let's give it up for Big Chief Allison Tui Montana.
Tuli Montana.
The prettiest of them all.
Giving all respect to Mother Diane French Cole, who was a freedom fighter, activist, and would be in the courtroom on Tulane and Broad, being an activist for your sons in the courtroom.
Reverend Avery Alexander, who actually walked hand in hand with Dr. Martin Luther King for a lot of the rights that we have today.
Lena Richards, one of the first black women in New Orleans to be on TV as a cooking chef and as a cooking teacher, and later became a restaurant owner.
Ellis Marcellus Sr., the patriarch of the great Marcellus family, the one who gave us the incredible sounds of jazz music.
good old Dorothy Mae Taylor, the woman who integrated Mardi Gras, and the reason why Coleman's does not roll to this day, because she said if you ain't gonna have no black people in your Mardi Gras crew, you shouldn't be able to roll down St. Charles Avenue.
Lincoln Theater, the first black movie theater in the city of New Orleans that actually let us watch movies in peace without having to pay and go to the balcony.
All right.
And Alice Ruth Moore Dunbar Callis Nelson, mother of the Harlem Renaissance, a New Orleans teacher and a writer who became the encouraging impetus or the female, she was the female inspiration behind the Harlem Renaissance in New York.
Don't forget when they threw it back to bounce music in the Roots on episode 20, when they shouted that out and let us know where, Big Frida and them originated.
Mm-hmm.
And we not forget about Fats Domino, who recently left us, who pioneered rock and roll music, jazz, hip-hop, brass band music, and nearly all music that we listen to today. So shout out to Brother Fats Domino and that Night Walk.
We can go on and on if we wanted to go through each and every episode, but the fact of the matter is, we love our city, we love these people, and we wouldn't have it any other way but to give thanks and honor the places and the people and the things that we originated from.
Yeah, and thank y'all for that, man. Also, y'all have been giving us good things to look back at, and not just that ass. You heard me? Okay, I'm sorry.
That is good to look at as well.
That is
not.
So,
Little Booties Matter.
Little Booties do
matter. By
matter.
the way, did y'all know that's a song? Apparently, it's been out since the summertime.
What?
Little Booties Matter.
Little Booties Matter.
That's not no song.
It's a song.
It's on Spotify.
And it is on YouTube and Vivo and everywhere
That
else.
is a real song.
Check out the Little Booties. You know the Little Booties because the Little
Yo,
Booties.
lying.
You're not
It's
lying.
nice
No,
too, yeah.
it's
That's
real.
a real
Yep,
song.
I got a piece of it.
Okay, you guys.
Anyway, you guys, this has been an episode. What you got to say before we leave?
Before we leave, I just want to let everyone know, thanks to all 102 people who liked DC Paul's status, he owes me $510.
Oh my goodness.
Thank
What's
you guys.
that?
The
For every
status
like I get, I will give Oshun $5.
I mean,
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
you just wanted to.
Why
do it.
would I do that?
So you
Yeah,
owe me
of course.
$102.
Yeah, okay.
It
Yeah.
actually went around like,
They got 4 shares.
She said $102. She don't even know how to do the
I mean,
math.
I said
$510.
$510.
You said
I
$102.
meant to say 102 likes.
Good thing.
I meant to say 102 likes.
And
$510.
watch how hard she don't get is a $102.
She don't get that 102.
You will get
She
that.
won't. She please. Of my money, lies. So this is episode 43 of the Misbelief Radio Show, you guys. Who are my funny ass, awesome ass, amazing friends and co-hosts?
Yo, this is Malik. You can find me at No Nola Tours on Facebook as well as on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Hi everybody, it's Oshun. You can find me at Oshun SL11 on Instagram, and you can even follow me on Facebook, Oshun Sanjilis.
This is that actor guy, Martin Bats Bradford. You can find me on all your social media platforms at Mr. Bats. Spell that Mr. out like silly, or you ain't gonna find it, boy. You heard me. And also catch all our videos and web series and movies on Gumbo Monster 504 on YouTube. And check out the Sister the Brother podcast of the Misbelief Radio Show, which is the Fly with Bats podcast. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This is Jay Steele. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at Jessel Steele. Also follow Phat Girl Nola and subscribe on YouTube. Also visit phatgirlnola.jimdo.com and look for our first webisode coming out. Also look for my first comedic documentary short coming out early in January.
All right.
Yay!
Doing it.
And Booth Man.
Of course, this is boy Mastermind. Check out on the Fly with Bats podcast as a host and everywhere else on the social media as Prince_Kid.
That's what's up. We're doing things in 2018, you guys. I'm DC Paul. Check me out at whoisdcpaul.com and who is DC Paul on all the social networks. My name is DC Paul on Facebook. It's wide open. You can follow me. You can check out these videos. Do subscribe to the Misbelief podcast at themisbelief.podbean.com and on iTunes and on YouTube and everywhere else you'd like to get your content. Thank you guys. Thank y'all to people I don't even know who are listening. I appreciate you so much. And in 2018, I hope to bring you some more of this funny black millennial content for that ass. So check us out next week, same time, same place. And don't get nothing on you. For that ass.
Thank you for cutting him off.
For that ass.
For that ass.
For that ass. For that ass.
Cut him off.
We got to worry about any song at the end of this episode. We just, We just let it. You know what? Let me take it from you, Brian. Take it from you, Brian. Go on, get out there. Go on, get out there with the people. Oh, I like the idea of the sofa so much. You know what?
Next week, you know what I'm saying?
When? We need to do it before February, please. We need to do
All right,
it.
yeah.
Let me get in there. Come on, how you not gonna make no
You want to say you got a little ass shit?
A little bit matter. Okay, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in with all my funny, awesome, amazing, talented ass friends. We love y'all. 2018, we got new things happening. So follow us. Thank you for all the millions and millions and millions people who are listening and watching right now. Thank God for the power of over-exaggeration as well.
That's only 2018, you going viral.
Yeah, man. So look. Real niggas took a few losses in 2017, but in 2018, wins all across the board. 2018 is the year to win. Say it with me. 2018 is the year to win.
2018 is the year to win.
Hell yeah, shit steps according to Bmike.
Yeah, man. Thanks for watching.
Yo, we gotta pop out champagne.
Randall, you still watching? I see you texting me. I'm gonna text you back in a few. You know I can't text when I'm on the radio. But we see y'all next week, man. We coming back in 2018. We gonna pop a bottle. Let's pop a champagne bottle.
Hold on, we about to end it for the year. Come on, Malik, with my champagne.
Am I holding the right thing?
Is somebody gonna mop it up? Because you know when you pop a champagne bottle, it make a little mess.
Wait, we need to pop that outside.
We gonna pop it, but we can't do it. It's dark outside.
Well, we can open the door. Come on.
Oh, yeah. You can go to the balcony.
There you go, B.
Go to the balcony. I know how to do it. You gonna do it?
You'll do it.
Come on, we're going to the balcony.
Oh man, shut up. You do it.
I don't know how to do it.
Is that Angela Bofield?
Yes.
That's the Angela Bofield?
Angela Bofield.
Oh, I asked you. Why would you say yes?
Angela
I got it. You gotta pop it, huh?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll pop it. I know how to pop
Okay,
it.
you, cause that's what we did. Outside.
It's a twist off.
No, it's not. You gotta hold it.
Is it?
Twist to open.
Okay, but it's a cart inside of there.
Go this way. Oh,
Go this way.
Oh, shit.
All right, y'all. Here's to 2018.
Oh, shit.
Did it come out?
A little bit.
Oh,
Do we have glasses for it?
we got cups, right? So those, come on.
Cups are glasses.
Let's go. We got it ain't even Spumante. Is it Spumante?
What is that?
That style of champagne. It's brewed.
It's brewed.
It's brewed. That means
it's brewed.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard. It ain't ladies champagne.
My bad.
No. I mean, I'm with it. I'm like, I ain't rough. You hear me?
We know you do.
Don't listen.
Finger.
We need some more cups.
No, I haven't. I know how to count. A little bit.
How much money you finna give me?
You gonna give me 500? Then you gonna put cryptocurrency.
Did you hack him or did he really?
No, he won that. He needs to
got
honor his commitment.
Why would I do that?
I don't know, but film on
It's a
it.
team thing. Okay, you
All right.
ready? Okay.
All right.
But Brian got some?
Yeah, Brian got some. All right.
Somebody's cup though.
Everybody got it?
Pour to somebody's cup.
All right, so what we
Because-
toasting to winning. You didn't even hold this, Brian?
Oh, I got it.
You sure you got it?
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Winning,
We're winning, man. Love, happiness, success, prosperity, great things. Also a little bit of failure. Shout out to Mike, so we know what it's about. But like,
too much.
But like,
Don't get that on you.
Right. Don't get that on you. Don't get that on you.
Don't get that on you. All right.
Toast him, Brian.
I believe the children of the future.
Teach him well and let him lead the way.
Exactly.
All
right, that's it.
Anything I would like, Brute.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Brian.
These homemade cupcakes.
How we got more viewers now than we did when we had the show going? 4 or 5 of y'all want to watch us drink champagne. Shit, y'all messy. That's what it is. Y'all messy. You want to see what we do behind the scenes? We crack jokes.
Y'all was here for the N-word things, but y'all wasn't here for the interview.
I know, right? Like we.
Okay.
One of my favorite things about being behind the scenes is that Martin, he usually leaves his Facebook logged in, so I get to make some kind of status about titty crimes. You know.
That's usually fun fact. It happens almost every week.
Titty crumbs. Martin really likes to bring attention to titty crumbs. Now, did you realize that? Happy New Year, by the way, Amiri Rasul. Did you know that if you take your bra off and crumbs don't fall out, your titties ain't shit? Titty crumbs. Titty crumbs on your beard make you feel like a man, apparently, according to Martin. Titty crumbs. He don't even have a beard, so he got titty crumbs on his bare naked chin.
Titty crumbs matter.
Titty crumbs matter on a bare naked chin with no hair on it. That's how disgusting this nigga is. Titty crumbs.
Bro, in the live, bro. It's over. We done.
I'm not done. I want to keep talking about titty crumbs. God damn it. Titty crumbs. Because you never know what happens behind the scenes. You never know what happens behind the scenes.
You guys are really getting the
Oh shit. Oh shit. That ain't trying to be on the live. Yeah, you're right. It's time to turn the live on, man. Thanks for having it. Bye, y'all. Don't get nothing on ya.